Good evening, family. Welcome. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025, and the time is 5:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending upon where you're hailing from. Thank you so much for joining me, family. I love you all so very much. I see people checking in from many different places. So, first of all, I want to say happy 11. 11 is a portal or a doorway. You know, they say with the doorway, it's out with the old and in with the new. So let's usher in prosperity, joy, peace, love, and abundance. Keep checking in, family. So far, we only have about 156 people in the chat, but I know more people will be joining us. Thank you all for being here, for sending emails, for sending messages and phone calls just to check on your girl, make sure I was doing well. And some of you have sent me intel, so I appreciate you so much for that. Also, thank you to the many people out there who send me Cash App blessings to $ Mama Kia 13. That is my Cash App, and I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. More importantly, thank you for sharing the videos, for liking the channel and subscribing to the channel. We got some great news today, family. Okay, this is February. It is Love Month for many people. So keep checking in, family. Oh, it looks like my stream somewhat, for some reason, on Rumble was deleted. Isn't that interesting? So check in, family. Let us know where you're hailing from, and we will acknowledge you in a few minutes. So much is going on. We are going to talk about how there's some information out that says that President Donald Trump is looking into restoring the United States dollar to the gold standard. And you all know, we've all known that anyway, right? That would happen. So we're so excited to hear that. But we've received a lot of news as it relates to the Iraqi dinar. People are receiving email, phone calls, text messages about how the currency exchange is inevitable. So keep checking in, family. Give us your thoughts on what's going on in the news. What are you thinking about the currency exchange? And we'll just check in a few minutes. Hold on. I'm going to check and see what's going on with my Rumble channel. Looks like they're still there. Hold on. It's saying that they can't connect my Rumble channel. Keep checking in, family. I'm just looking to see what's going on with my Rumble family. It looks like the stream was deleted. If anybody's on Rumble, can you let me know that you're there? Because my computer is saying you're not there. Can you all see me on Rumble? Please let me know. I don't want to take the Rumble stream off and disconnect it if you guys can see me. Okay, we'll just keep going. If you guys aren't on Rumble, then I'll just connect it later. But family, welcome. I'm so glad to see that you guys are saying bring on the RV. So many of you are here. Ohio's in the house. North Carolina is in the house. Yeah, it's about time. I see Kentucky in the house. Hi, Sister Jackie. The feeling of the dream fulfilled. I agree, Marco. The frequency is high. I agree, Roots. So many of us are ready. All right. We'll get to your questions in a very few minutes, but let's jump right into the news because people have been saying, we don't want to hear you talk in the beginning. We just want to hear the news. So let's get into it, family. We got a lot to cover today. So there's been a lot of good information circulating on Twitter and on my social media inboxes. People have been sending me messages that they've received from dealers or that they've seen on Twitter or they've seen from some of their friends. This good news is inevitable that the RV, which is the revaluation of currencies or currency exchanges, will happen soon. So let's just start with some of the tweets and messages that we've seen or that people have sent to us. Okay. One of the first things that I saw was some information from dinar revaluation. And I'll show you that channel, dinar revaluation on Twitter, in case you are interested in following that particular channel, because it's all about the Iraqi dinar, what the rate used to be, what the rate is now, the history of the exchange rate. And this channel just releases some information as it relates to what's going on in Iraq. So when you look at dinar revaluation here, this is their Twitter account. The first thing they says is thank you, President Trump, or Poppy Trumpo. That's Trump's burner account or his backup account, for following me. So President Trump or whoever's running that account is following dinar revaluation. And so that's why I would encourage you to do the same. I will put that link for you in the chat. Greetings, everyone. Okay. Here it says the time is near. Good information was obtained about the inevitable RV or revaluation. Is everyone locked in with your holds? Be ready. Economic reforms are aimed at debt reduction and economic enhancement. And all this could set the stage for revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. The process is multifaceted, involving economic, political, and international dimensions. Connect the dots, they say here. So I don't know if you recall, but I've done reports in the last 2 weeks that says that Iraq is poised for an economic revaluation and poised for receiving or having or experiencing lots of wealth and economic stability. So this particular channel, revaluation or revolution, the dinar revolution, is backing up what I've said. The economic reforms are aimed at economic enhancement. And I think it's interesting that they talk about economic reforms, because another thing I said on my podcast last week was that unless Iraq implements economic reforms, then the country will collapse and have a financial crisis. Well, you see here that dinar revaluation is saying that they are implementing economic reforms, and they are aimed at debt reduction, and they're aimed at a revaluation. They go on to say that we're watching this unfold in real time. And I will talk to you about how the governor of Iraq received the French ambassador to Iraq to talk about economic stability, to talk about their payment systems and their payment platforms. And I've been saying this for a long time, that the payment platforms were already in place in Iraq. Welcome to all the new members that are joining the show. I see 589 people here in the chat. So recently, the governor for the Central Bank of Iraq, whose name is Mr. Al-Alak, received the French ambassador, Patrick Dowell, and he received their French delegation. And it was determined that they reviewed the investment opportunities in the country of Iraq. So they're asking the French ambassador and the French people to invest in Iraq. And I can show you what this says so you can see it for yourself, and we can read it along. Interestingly, Iraq they're not only asking the French ambassador to invest in that country, but when al-Sudani was here in America this summer, when he met with Biden and talked about the payment platform systems and solidified their agreements and their trade agreement, he also went to, thank you so much for sending me a cash app. Dennis, I love you, Dennis. Thank you. God bless you. al-Sudani also went to Detroit because they have a large Iraqi population in Detroit. And he met with his Iraqi American members or citizens or nationals and told them that Iraq was on the verge of becoming very prosperous. And he also told them that he would be looking for some of them that are doing well in America to invest in Iraq. He didn't stop there. Al-Sudani then went on to talk to Texas billionaires and other American investors and asked investors to invest in their country, the country of Iraq, because he said, we have a lot of wealth to exploit. So here you see the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq meeting with the French ambassador of Iraq. Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing. Oh, Chief Mack, I love you, honey. God bless you. And it says that he received them along with the delegation, and that included a number of French banks and companies in various sectors, in the presence of officials from the Central Bank of Iraq and the Director General of TBI Bank. His Excellency, the governor, reviewed the investment opportunities in all sectors, but especially after the security stability witnessed by Iraq. He explained the priorities, the plans, and the initiatives that the central bank is working on to achieve general stability in prices by controlling the inflation rate and supporting economic growth through its financing initiatives that achieve economic diversification. He pointed to the role of the CBI, or the central bank, in expanding financial inclusion, moving to electronic payments, digitizing the economy, integrating with the global economy and its financial system, and the great success in moving foreign transfer operations to the latest international practices and standards. His Excellency went on to explain the laws that facilitate the movement of investors' funds into and out of Iraq. And he stressed the endeavor to overcome the difficulties facing investment companies wishing to work in Iraq, with the area of specialization for his part. So there are many, many investment companies and investors that desire to invest in the country of Iraq. So the ambassador to Iraq from France let the ambassador and the people at the Central Bank of Iraq know, we're ready, we're poised. We need this to be a smooth transition. So the French ambassador stressed that the French companies have an important and great opportunity to invest in the country of Iraq and deal directly with the private sector, especially with the existence of laws that support investors and commercial projects. So now there are laws that have been put in place in Iraq to make it very easy for different countries, different companies, and private investors to invest in their country. What they're saying now is that the country of Iraq is open. It's open for investors. It's open to becoming prosperous. It's open for business. The payment platforms are ready. The agreements have been solidified. The allies are in place, and everything is ready. So the French delegation also participated in the dialogue and raised the most important question: on the contribution to understanding investment opportunities, while His Excellency took the initiative to answer the delegation's questions, as well as official meetings or present at the meeting. So after all the business deals were done, then they answered the questions between the delegates from the Central Bank of Iraq and the ambassador to Iraq from France. And this was published actually on February the 4th, just last week, one whole week ago, 2024. This was published. I'm sorry, February the 4th, 2024 is when this was published, but it's just now being brought out because the Central Bank of Iraq is ready. And I'll show you why this is pertinent for bringing this information out right now. The reason why we brought this out right now is because people have been receiving email from currency exchanges saying that they're right now, they're mailing currencies out, but they're on high alert for a new exchange rate to come out. Okay. And I'll show this to you right here. Bear with me because I'm going to show you a few different accounts and a few different messages that people have received. This is from Dinar Exchange Australia. All currency orders are being shipped out this weekend. Please expect emails early next week. Thanks. In case there is a high alert with the RV, we will hold the orders to be collected or delivered in person only. So this is from Dinar Exchange Australia. Somebody else from Australia also sent email or messages or tweeted out messages saying that they received information from the different currency exchange places in Australia. So again, orders are being shipped this week, but expect emails Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing, Delmore. God bless you. Expect emails next week in case there's a high alert with the RV. They're going to hold orders to be collected again or delivered in person. So they'll deliver them in person, or I guess you can pick them up, is what I'm understanding. So that's one. And I'm going to put all of these in the description section for you, family. Keep checking in. Here's another one that I want to show you here. This here is what somebody personally sent me. This person says, I was talking to my wealth manager at the bank last week, and he told me that they got a letter from our government, the Trump administration, telling them to be ready for a massive change to the financial system and an influx of foreign currency exchanges. He is a vice president of a wealth management center at Wells Fargo. So here we go, family. This is just another bit of proof that something is about to happen. We're on the precipice of change. We are on the precipice of a new reality whereby we all will become wealthy. So again, I'll put these in the description section for you. I will also place this particular one in the community section of my YouTube channel. So for any of you that are not tuning into YouTube, from YouTube, my YouTube channel is at Dr. Kia Pruitt Official. Be careful because there are many different imposters out there pretending to be me, but I have 10,000 followers on that account. So you can look for me and see the 10,000 followers, and I'll look for my community section because sometimes I'll put up different articles if I don't have time to go live. Let me know what you think so far, family. Oh, but wait, there's more. Woo, this is exciting. Let me get out of here for a minute. What else? Someone received an email from a currency dealer, and this person sent this to Ariel on Twitter, and he posted it. So let's get into this news here. Somebody says, hi, Ariel, off topic, but I received this from my exchange in Australia. Important update on your dinar exchange order. Dear so-and-so, we hope this message finds you well. We want you to keep informed about the status of your order. Due to the recent revaluation news, we are currently on red alert, and as a result, there is a slight delay in shipping. Please rest assured that our team is working diligently to have all orders shipped out by this Friday. This delay is actually in your best interest. If a revaluation occurs in the meantime, we will provide you with the option to either receive a hand delivery or just your order based on the new valuation. We believe this approach ensures the best outcome for you. We sincerely appreciate your patience and your understanding during this time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we will be happy to assist you. Now, if it was just one person saying this, maybe we can have some concern that it might not be true, but this is one of many. Now, for people who are asking about what the dinar evaluation is about, what happened is the United States dollar was the world reserve currency, and what gave us the world reserve currency status and made America, the United States of America, have financial and economic hegemony to be the world leader was that we had a contract or an agreement with Saudi Arabia that we would protect the Saudi kingdom in exchange for their oil, and then we would force all exporting nations to get oil from Saudi Arabia, but they had to use the dollar. Any countries that did not use the dollar were sanctioned. We would either put economic, financial sanctions on them, or we would send our military to those countries and declare war. We financed both sides of the war, so it really didn't matter who would win the war. But people in the know, it's my grandson trying to call me. People in the know would buy the country's currencies, because when the country was sanctioned through war or just economic financial sanctions on them, then the currency would devalue. So people in the know, like people high up in the military, thank you for the Cash App blessing. People who were CEOs of banks or CEOs of large companies would go into those countries once the currency had been devalued, buy the currency, and then wait till after the war was over. After the war, the military, some of them would leave, some of them would stay to make sure everything was in place. And then America would go back in and rebuild the infrastructure. Once they rebuild the infrastructure, then now the GDP, gross domestic product, would go up in value, and the exchange rate on the currency would be reinstated back to its pre-war or pre-sanction value. Then anybody who had bought the currency while it was devalued would then go to the bank with the new exchange rate and become wealthy overnight. This is how a lot of your politicians became multimillionaires. People high up in the military became multimillionaires. People who were running corporations and companies became multimillionaires, and some even became billionaires overnight. This didn't just happen in the Middle East, but any countries that were sanctioned through war or economic have financial constraints on them. So the United States dollar, because of all of this, was doing extremely well. But as you all know, the BRICS nations, thank you for the financial blessing. The BRICS nations stopped trading with the dollar. Okay. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, at the beckoning or urging of Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. And they said, we're going to use our own country's currencies. And then Vladimir Putin said, okay, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, now we're going to use our own countries. Let's start off with my Russian ruble. And that's why the Russian ruble was the strongest performing currency in the world in 2022. But then he said, why don't all nations do the same thing? Use your own local currencies for exchanges, and America's not going to do anything to us, okay? Because there were secret agreements behind the scenes between all 209 nations to drop the dollar when triggered, and that trigger was Vladimir Putin going to Ukraine and uncovering all of the corruption that was going on there. So while these countries were dropping the United States dollar, they were also repatriating their gold from the Vatican back to them. And this gold, as well as rare earth minerals and some of the other resources that the countries had, were backing up their local currencies. So this information was kept from the masses. Most of us had no idea that this was going on. But now we're living in a time where it's the age of Aquarius, the golden age, and it's a whole new era where Source is allowing, or God, the creator, is allowing us, we the people, to know about this. And you have people who are high up in the military that disseminated this information, and it is trickled down to us here in America and across the globe. So there are many different countries' currencies that are revaluing or being reinstated back to their pre-sanctioned values, back to their pre-war values. Okay? Because again, the United States dollar was the world reserve currency, thanks to our agreement with Saudi Arabia to protect their kingdom in exchange for their oil and force all exporting nations to get oil from Saudi Arabia. But once Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, at the leading and beckoning of Vladimir Putin, start dropping the dollar, then the value of the United States dollar actually decreased. So then the United States dollar, as you know, that was a part of the Federal Reserve central banking system, started to lose a lot of the value. And so then there was some discussion that something had to be done before, America completely collapses financially and economically. Let me make sure my grandchild is all right. Hold on, family. Hold on 1 minute. He just keeps calling. Keep chatting to each other. 1 minute. All right. So the dollar would, completely collapse if we didn't do something. And we're going to talk about what's going to be done. But again, we had financial and economic hegemony, or the United States Incorporated and the Federal Reserve Central Banking System was the powerhouse. But this summer, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that state-sponsored banks can separate from the United States Federal Reserve Central Banking System, and they can have their own charter, their own rules and regulations, and they could now issue out their own gold-backed currencies. So the United States is poised for this revaluation of currencies, not just abroad, but also here in America. And we're poised for a complete global currency reset, which means that the whole financial system is being restructured and is resetting itself. This happens at the end of every empire. Okay, what they do is they print as much money as they can, they rack up the debt, and then they crash the financial system and then move on to a more sustainable system that we know is the gold standard. So we already know that the money printing over here in America, it has, is out of control. The debt has reached insurmountable heights, and that we know that there has been a call to do something, right away. We must do something right away because we've reached the debt ceiling, Janet Yellen has said during the Biden administration. And as Trump was coming in this second term, we got to do something right now. We've reached the ceiling. We need to raise the debt ceiling or do something. We got to take extraordinary measures. Well, President Trump is saying that he is going to take extraordinary measures. What has he been talking about? And we're going to get back to the Iraqi dinar in a few minutes. But Trump and the Trump administration is now saying that President Trump is considering returning the United States dollar back to the gold standard. This, according to our sources, would allow United States currency to be directly exchanged for gold. And I'm so glad to hear this because I've been talking about the gold standard for years. Remember, in his first administration, Donald Trump wanted to have Dr. Judy Shelton. He had actually nominated Dr. Judy Shelton to be the chair of the Federal Reserve because she is a gold bug. She has a doctorate degree in economics and business, and she's a proponent for the gold standard. So we're talking about a global currency reset. It happens at the end of every empire. It's happening now at the end of the United States Incorporated empire. So in case you want to see this in writing, this comes from a particular account. Officials within the Trump administration have said that President Trump is considering returning to the United States returning the United States dollar back to the gold standard, and this would allow the United States currency to be directly exchanged for gold. That's not the only news that's out, though. So let's see what else is going on in the world. Here's a very good article that came out asking, could Trump bring us back to the gold standard? And you know that only makes sense to bring us back to the gold standard because the United States dollar has lost its value. It had lost like 89% of its value, its purchasing power before the global pandemic. How much more of its purchasing power has it lost since BRICS has dropped the dollar? A significant amount. Let me show you this. Here's the article. Will Trump bring back the gold standard? This was published January 20th, just last month, just like on the day of the inauguration. United States President Donald Trump has spoken highly of the gold standard, but could he really bring it back? Of course he could. As a matter of fact, not only could he, but he will. And I'm going to bring back that article. And we know this because we've been following the states all across America that have reclaimed silver and gold. And I've been reporting this through the years, which states have reclaimed silver and gold as money. And the way the states have reclaimed silver and gold as money is by repealing the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals. There is an article out that was published by the Sound Money Defense League that says, one article says 45 states have reclaimed silver and gold as money. And then another article says more than 45 states reclaim silver and gold as money. As a matter of fact, New Jersey became the 46th state. And the way they reclaim silver and gold as money is to remove the sales tax from precious metals. Why that's important is because the United States incorporated the deep state, the Federal Reserve central banking system, and all their cohorts had classified gold as a commodity or as a collector's item instead of as money. And when you classify gold as a collector's item or as a commodity, you can put a tax on a collectible, like, because a collectible could be a piece of art, an artifact, trading cards. The deep state had classified real gold that we've been using for money since way before biblical times as a collector's item. So that's why they were able to put taxes on it. But the states are now operating in their sovereignty. That's how you know the republic has been restored behind the scenes. And the state legislatures or lawmakers have introduced bills to remove some or all the taxes from the sales of precious metals. At the same time, you saw Basel III compliances come out that says all banks that wanted to stay relevant and stay on board had to become Basel III compliant, meaning they had to recognize gold as a tier 1 asset. In layman's terms, what they were saying is now all banks that remain must recognize gold as money and can no longer recognize gold as a commodity or a collectible. So this is excellent news. Why have banks now recognized gold as a tier 1 asset or as money, other than the fact that we are moving back to the gold standard? I will show you the article from the Sound Money Defense League, but if you've been following me for some time, you know, as each state has repealed state sales taxes from precious metals, I've been reporting on that. And again, this is in alignment with the Supreme Court of the United States saying now state-sponsored banks can operate independently from the Federal Reserve central banking system, have their own charter, their own rules, their own regulations, and issue out gold-backed currencies. And this is in alignment, all of this, with the Constitution for our republic. Article 1, Section 10, that says the only thing that can be used to pay off the debts is silver and gold. And the only thing that can be used as money are silver and gold. The Constitution for our republic also defines the dollar as a fixed weight in silver. So the article, again, that was put out by investingnews.com says these are rumors that the gold standard could be reinstated during Trump's presidency. And is centered largely on positive comments that President Trump made about this idea. Notably, the article suggests, he said that it would be wonderful to bring back the gold standard. And a number of his advisors were on the same timeline and had this same idea in mind. Dr. Judy Shelton, remember I mentioned her, she was the person who he wanted to make the Treasury Secretary or put her as the chairman of the Federal Reserve during his first administration. And also John Allison, both of them are on board, as well as others. Now that Trump is back in the White House, the article asserts, some are again wondering if he will return the country to the gold standard. Whenever they say things like it's a possibility, it could happen, it might happen, you know it's probably already happening. Speaking on his War Room podcast back in December of 2023, Steve Bannon, who was Trump's former chief strategist, said that he believes that indeed President Trump would ditch the United States Federal Reserve and bring back the gold standard in his second term. This is wonderful news. So if you haven't done so already, you very well might consider getting silver and gold. Okay. This just goes along with the tweet that I showed you here from Matt XRP Patriot that said this is breaking news within the Trump administration that Trump is considering returning the dollar back to the gold standard. So again, that means that the US currency will be directly exchanged for gold. Isn't that exciting? So there was something else that was posted by Ariel on Twitter about this. Let's see what he said about this particular going back to the gold standard. There is a meeting, he said, that's going on. Yes, here we go. All of this will be in the description section for you, family. Thank you to all of you, family, that are listening here. I see we have 1,217 people in the chat. I hope our Rumble family is still with us. I'm seeing that I have problems on my Rumble, but hopefully you guys are still with us. Thank you, too, for those of you who have been sending me Cash App blessings. I will acknowledge you when I get done. Thank you so much. This is my Cash App, Mama Kia 13, $ Mama Kia 13. I appreciate you. So let's look at this particular article that we're just bringing up. Thank you to Prolotario here. Prolotario1 is his @ but he goes by Ariel on Twitter. He says, this is convenient, talking about being back on the gold standard, or this being a possibility. There is a hearing coming up entitled A Golden Age of Digital Assets, Charting a Path Forward. The Subcommittee on Digital Assets, Financial Technology, and Artificial Intelligence they were scheduled to meet today, February the 11th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to follow up on this and see what indeed they decided would happen, or what's going to happen with the gold standard. So I just wanted you to see that. That's not it. Let me see if I can find the article, since we're talking about the gold standard, by the Sound Money Defense League. Here we go. As it relates to the gold standard. We're going to talk more about Iraq in a few minutes. Here we go. State laws can help restore gold and silver as money. Here it says, to date, 45 states have removed some or all taxes from the purchase of gold and silver. Of the 5 states that still apply the outmoded tax to purchase precious metals, most of them are expecting to consider ending sales taxes on precious metals in 2025. Taxing the exchange of Federal Reserve notes for the monetary metals is an atrocious policy, the article states, and it is so for several reasons, and it goes into those reasons. In case you want to know which 5 states, 4 now, have not yet removed the state sales tax from precious metals, they are New Mexico, Maine, Rhode Island, and Hawaii. We're just waiting on those 4 states, and the whole country will have done what they needed to do from a legal perspective to return us to using gold and silver as money. Lawfully, we're already supposed to only use gold and silver as money. Anything that talks about what's lawful is in relationship to our Republic for America. We're talking about lawful relates to the Constitution for America. What's legal relates to anything that is allowable or permissible by way of the United States Incorporated. So legalities, statutes, codes, policies, and our policy enforcers or police officers all relate to United States Incorporated, which usurped authority from our lawful government, the Republic, and incorporated themselves in 1871 in the state of Delaware. That's what's legal. So what you see happening is states are legally passing legislation that relates to the United States Incorporated to make silver and gold legal tender. And all they're doing is using their policies, the deep state policies, to reclaim their power and their sovereignty. But all of this is in alignment with the Constitution for our Republic. which says that the only thing that can be used for money is silver and gold. All of this is happening, family, because we are experiencing in real time a global currency reset where the whole financial system is resetting itself, where they're completely demolishing the old ways of the deep state, the Federal Reserve central banking system, and the United States Incorporated, because they're already bankrupt, defunct, insolvent, and they need to go away. So President Trump is using the deep state's tool, the executive order, to demolish the Federal Reserve central banking system and to demolish the government, the United States government. At the same time, lawmakers or legislatures are using the deep state's tools, bills, legislation to return the whole country state by state to using gold as legal tender, meaning you can use gold and silver in your state to buy local goods and purchases. And they're all doing this on this side. I love it, to align with the republic and the Constitution for our republic here in America. Isn't that exciting? So this is the global currency reset. This is how we're seeing it play out here in America. Abroad, you see it playing out by each country, one by one, dropping the United States dollar for trade and using their own country's currencies. So the first country to do that was actually Russia. It was an agreement between 209 nations. We call that agreement Project Sandman. Some people call it Operation Sandman, to drop the dollar for trade when triggered and then use their own local currency backed by gold, silver, precious metals to trade. So that trigger again was Vladimir Putin going to Ukraine and uncovering all of the nefarious activities and corruption that was going on there. Again, Biden put sanctions on him. On Putin. Putin clapped back and said, you can sanction me if you want. I got my own military. I'm not afraid of anything you could do. I'm going to use my own currency, the Russian ruble, for trade. And he stopped trading with the dollar. As I said earlier in the podcast, that's what made the Russian ruble the strongest performing currency in the world in 2022. Then Vladimir Putin inspired, since remember he's from Russia, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa to do the same. They stopped trading with the dollar. They first started trading with the ruble. Then they started trading with their own local currencies. And after that, Saudi Arabia joined BRICS. And that completely ended our agreement with Saudi Arabia to protect their kingdom in exchange for their oil and force all exporting nations to use the United States dollar, getting oil from Saudi Arabia. So that ended, and that happened in 2022. A lot of people just didn't know that, but I did report that about how Saudi Arabia had joined BRICS, and it became known as Saudi BRICS. Then other nations joined the BRICS Union, the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they became known as BRICS Plus. One of those countries was indeed Iraq. So we'll get back to Iraq's news. Oh, so many of you are commenting. Thank you for 1,292 people being in the chat. So what other Iraq news do we have? Let's see. I have so many articles up. In case you're just joining in, we talked about how the dinar exchange from Australia told all of the customers that all the current orders are being shipped. They'll be shipped out by this weekend, and to expect emails next week, just in case something comes up, because they're saying they are on high alert for a revaluation. And they said if that happens, if they receive any information about the revaluation or exchange of currencies or exchange of the Iraqi dinar rate going in place or being implemented, they will hold the orders, and you can come and get them in person, or they'll deliver it to somebody, will deliver it to hand deliver it to you. So right now, that was Australia. Right now, currency dealers are indeed still emailing or sending out currencies, but be on alert, because we're getting news that people have been receiving email and text messages saying that this could change very, very soon. So if you're interested in currencies like the Iraqi dinar, the Venezuelan bolivar, the Zimbabwean zim, the Indonesian rupiah, the Indian rupee, what else? You guys can put it in the chat, or other countries' currencies. Hurry up and get them while you can. And you don't have to get the big notes, the big denominations. You could go for the smaller ones, okay? You can go for maybe a Zimbabwe agro check, which is a little less expensive from the Zimbabwe, a little less expensive than the Zimbabwean zim. You can go for a lower denomination of the Vietnamese dong than the, what is that, 25,000? No, Vietnamese dong. I think they have, is it 25,000? That's the Iraqi dinar. They have 25,000 denotation. Can't remember about the Vietnamese dong, but I know for about a million Vietnamese dong, you can get it for like $70. But you don't have to get a million. You can get a smaller portion. You get 500,000, 25,000 dollar denomination, $10,000 denomination. Okay. Like the video, family, subscribe to the channel, and send the video on to people who might enjoy this news. Oh, we already talked about how the Central Bank of Iraq met with and received the ambassador to Iraq from France. It's interesting that France met with the Central Bank of Iraq, in my assessment, because France is having a lot of financial problems. And the reason why France is having a lot of financial and economic problems is because the African nations that France had colonized kicked out the French. And they said, we don't need your military. We don't need any of your workers here. And as a matter of fact, we're going to establish our own military. So you're talking about Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Nigeria, and Senegal all kicked out the French. So that kind of led to a domino effect in France, and France started suffering financially. So what happened was the Treasury Department in France did a no confidence vote and got rid of their entire financial department in France and their parliament, most of their parliament, because they said, now that we can't colonize the African nations and we can't use the children and the people who, didn't have money and exploit them to go into the mines for cobalt and dig up, all these other resources for us, since they kicked us out, our economy is struggling, the French parliament said. Okay, so the whole Treasury Department was told to stand down and that they needed to do something. So now we see that the ambassador to Iraq from France went to Iraq to meet to say, hey, we need some agreements, some trade agreements. We need to make sure the payment system is in place, and we need to do whatever we can to solidify this relationship so that we can help you exploit the resources there, or tap into the resources, however you want to say, and do business, since now Iraq is open for business. Now, Macron, who is the president for Iraq, said he would not stand down, even though Macron, who's the president for France, said even though the parliament has been totally dismantled and the Treasury Department here in our country has been dismantled through the no confidence vote, he said, I'm not going anywhere. My term is not up until 2027. However, the people are putting pressure on Macron to stand down, to retire, to resign, to do whatever you have to do. He's saying right now, though, he's vowing to stay in office. He's resisting his call, he said, this call to stand down. And you guys can look that up for yourself. I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, let's get back to Iraqi news. Let's see if I can find anything else. Did I show you guys this one? Oh, I think I showed you. Yes, I showed you email that said that there was a delay because there was a delay in your best interest. If a revaluation occurs in the meantime, we'll provide you with the option to either receive a hand delivery or adjust your order based on a new valuation rate. For those of you just checking in, I'll show that to you all right quick, but I showed it to the family already. Right here. Important update on your dinar exchange. Okay, we want to keep you informed about the status of your order due to the recent revaluation news. We're currently on red alert. As a result, there's a slight delay in shipping, but rest assured our team is working diligently to have all orders shipped by this Friday. What's going to happen next week if everything's trying to be shipped by this Friday? The delay is actually in your best interest, as we said earlier. If a revaluation occurs in the meantime, then we'll provide you the option to either receive a hand delivery or adjust your order based on a new valuation rate. This is the best approach, we believe, to ensure the best outcome for you. All right. I just want to reiterate that for anybody who missed that. Let's see what else is going on with Iraq. Let me get out of here. Let me know your thoughts so far, family. Okay, for those of you who were asking, what will the new Iraqi dinar rate be? Of course, I don't know what the new rate would be, but I know before the war, the Iraqi dinar rate was $3.21. If it is reinstated back to its pre-war rate of $3.21, then you would just multiply $3.21 times however much dinar you have. If you have 1 million dinar, you're going to have 3,210,000, I think that is, over 3 million. But we can't just stop there, reinstating it back to its pre-war value. We have to also account for inflation. Some people have done the calculations, and some people have asserted that when you account for inflation, then the dinar rate will not be just $3.21. It could be anywhere between $16 and $69, okay, in terms of per your one USD. So if you have 1 million, you might have 16 million, you might have 69 million. We don't know yet. Always account for inflation. I would do you one better. Account for inflation, but also account for the gold standard, because all nations are returning to the gold standard through the Project Sandman agreement. The whole world is returning to gold. How do I know that the whole world is returning to gold? It's inevitable, because you have either the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and all of those nations that have joined. 2 years ago, 85% of the global population had already joined BRICS. How are we looking today? Then you have the Shanghai Corporation, which are those Asian nations. They have returned to the gold standard, or have returned to gold and dropped the United States dollar. So you got the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and all of the exporting nations that have joined, including African nations. And you have the Shanghai Corporation. All of these nations have coalesced against the United States Incorporated and the Federal Reserve central banking system. But again, I ask you, how do I know that the whole world is returning to the gold standard? I know this because we can see what's happening right before our eyes with BRICS and the Shanghai Corporation. But I've been reporting this particular article since it came out, February 2023. This was on the 16th, that the whole world is hurtling back towards gold as money. The article says that the consequences of Russia and her Asian allies embracing the gold backing for their currencies are poorly understood in Western capital markets. This move could lead to the destruction of the global fiat currency system. What made the dollar the world reserve currency, gave the Americans, or the United States Incorporated, financial and economic hegemony, making them the powerhouse, was our agreement with Saudi Arabia, right? But now that agreement has ended with Saudi Arabia joined BRICS. And we also know that last summer, that contract that we had with Saudi Arabia ended on June 29th, and it was not reinstated. They did not re-sign it. So we know that that's over for the United States dollar. But look here, it says the consequences of Russia and her Asian allies. Did not I say that this was an agreement between 209 nations that when triggered, they will stop trading with the dollar? Vladimir Putin, you see, Russia was that trigger when he went to Ukraine and exposed all the corruption going there. And the Russia and the Asian allies, okay? Asian allies like China, BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, that's from Asia, China, Asian allies, and South Africa went ahead and stopped trading with the dollar as soon as Vladimir Putin went to uncover the corruption in Ukraine and Biden put sanctions on him. So the allies embraced gold backing. And when I reported this in 2023, I said, they're saying that this move is misunderstood in Western capital markets. And you had a lot of financial advisors saying, oh my God, this is it. We're going to suffer here in the West. Oh my God. And I kept saying, no, stay encouraged. If the whole world, I reported it, is returning to gold, the United States will be on board. And I said, behind the scenes, we're returning to the gold standard. Back then, when I said that, I said, remember, you had Alexander Mooney in 2018 to introduce House Resolution 5404, which was the Gold Standard Restoration Act to define the dollar as a fixed weight in gold. Mooney with the extra O is money. Alexander Mooney from West Virginia. Then he came back. That was 2018 under the Trump's first administration. I said, be encouraged, stay focused, family. He came back in 2021 with the Gold Standard Restoration Act as House Resolution 9157. Then he came back in 2022 and again in 2023 and introduced House Resolution 2435. He came along with some other representatives. I'm not doing this by myself. It was Alexander Mooney, Paul Gosar, and Andy Briggs, who said, we're introducing House Resolutions 9157 in about 2021 and House Resolution 2435 in 2022 and 2023 to return the gold standard or define the dollar as a fixed weight in gold. And all this was happening to prepare us for where we are now with President Trump talking about bringing us back to the gold standard. So it won't just be Asia, Russia, or Russia and their Asian allies, but it's the whole world is hurtling or rushing back to using gold as money. According to evidence which is widely ignored in Western capital markets, a move by Russia to put a new trade settlement currency and possibly the ruble as well onto a new gold standard is becoming a certainty. Interestingly enough, when we were reporting this, along the way from 2018 all the way up to 2023, when this article came out, it seemed like it was unfathomable. It couldn't happen. But now we see it in writing. As a weapon of mass fiat currency destruction, the timing is probably bound up in on-the-ground military considerations, which are already showing signs of escalation in eastern Ukraine. Remember, they brought up Ukraine because I said the trigger was Putin going to Ukraine to expose all the corruption. Biden didn't like that, and that's why he put sanctions on Putin. They wanted to make it seem like Putin was just being a tyrant, but that wasn't the case. Putin was uncovering all the corruption with the Biden crime family and with all the other world leaders that were involved in all type of trafficking. So back to the rate, the exchange rate. I know I'm going back and forth. Try to stay with me, family. Back to the exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar, what will it be? We know that it used to be $3.21 before the war, right? And I'll show you this just so you can look it up for yourself. I'm going to show you how you can look at the history of the dinar and make a determination what the new rate should be or will be. Remember, I said you want to take into account inflation and you want to take into account the gold standard, us being back on the gold standard. Somebody says, Angel says, what's up, beautiful Angel and your family, your show. I love your show. Thank you so much, Angel Jules. So let me see if I can find this. I want to look at the history of the Iraqi dinar. Here we go. So we are anticipating something to happen very soon. Anytime you have currency dealers reaching out to their customers saying we're on high alert, red alert, we've hearing information from the Trump administration that this could happen soon. So your orders may be delayed. We'll try to send out as much as we can by Friday, or you can come in person and get it, or we go hand deliver it to you. And some other people receive messages saying that we might hold your dinar and wait for the new exchange rate. And this could work in your best interest. And then after the new exchange rate has been put on the dinar, then we'll deliver your currency or you can come pick it up. So I say get all the currencies you can right now, because at some point the dealers will be told to stop selling. Here's a little bit on the history of the Iraqi dinar, just for people who are interested. Because when you have an investment, you want to make sure you understand or overstand the investment. My sons who study economics in college told me when I was talking about investments, way back then, they're in their 30s now, they were like, Mom, you only invest in what you understand, which means you need to do your research, and what you can afford, what you have in your budget to invest in. So that's why we're going to bring up a little bit of the history. This is from Treasury Vault, which, by the way, is a currency dealer. You can get currencies from treasuryvault.com. And then I will ask that the Soul family put in the chat other dealers and or websites where you can get currencies in case you're interested in investing in currencies. And this is a great time because we are about to experience the greatest wealth transfer in history. So here is the history of the Iraqi dinar. And I brought up the greatest wealth transfer in history because you know that through Executive Order 13818, President Trump froze the assets of anybody involved in crimes against humanity. And those assets, that money, that wealth will come back to we the people. Hold that thought, put a pin in it, because I'm going to talk about how Elon Musk said the same thing about a particular government agency that has money in their coffers. And he said, you're going to return that to the American people. Okay. So the Iraqi dinar. Iraq has a notorious history of chaos and instability. The history of the dinar exchange rate demonstrates the volatility of how the fluctuation in the rate or the chaos with the country's currency within the national borders over the past 80 years. So after several decades of positive economic growth, Saddam Hussein completely toppled the economy of Iraq, and he toppled the currency rate or the value of their currency, the Iraqi dinar. He implemented repressive public policies on the Iraqi people, and he was openly hostile to the neighboring nations. According to this article, this created an adverse long-term effect on their currency, the Iraqi dinar. And that echoed all the way throughout history, all the way up to today. So the dinar at one point, which was the currency of Iraq, was replaced with the Indian rupee, and it became their official currency in 1932. The dinar was then pegged to the British pound at par until 1959. The peg was eventually changed to the US dollar in 1959. They used only the current exchange rate between the pound and the dollar to determine the Iraqi dinar's current value at that time. The foreign currency exchange rate determined one Iraqi dinar to be equal to $2.80 USD. By 1973, the Iraqi dinar had increased in value to $3.37, or almost $3.38 USD. But then there was a small 5% devaluation in their country's currency, and it went to $3.21, almost $3.22. That was the continually stable rate historically from then in 1973 till up until the Gulf War in 1990, 1991. So it says this was the continually stable rate history when pegged to the dollar until the Gulf War in 1990, 91. The economy in Iraq between 1960 and 1980 was vibrant and it was growing. The strong Iraq dinar value was equally supported by a real gross domestic product or GDP growth of about 8%, and per capita growth was about 47%. These incredible growth rates supported the high Iraq dinar exchange rate, and it was growing at a rate that was one of the highest in the world at the time. Iraq's long-term history is one of the most positive growth, global competition, and excellent value of the Iraqi currency. It goes on to talk about what Saddam Hussein allegedly did to the dinar, how Saddam Hussein had a great downfall. It talks about where we are today with the Iraqi dinar. In 2003, the official Iraqi dinar to the US dollar exchange rate was set at a fraction of a penny. The Iraq oil industry was in ruins and had become dormant. Iraq was totally devastated and war torn. It was reasonable that the currency held little to no value at that particular time. And now 15 years later, the Iraqi oil industry is now booming again. The country's internal economy is on the rebound. You see this? This is how you know we're on the precipice of change. We're on the precipice of the Iraqi dinar being revalued or reinstated back to their pre-war value. Plus accounting for inflation and the gold standard, you know it's going to be a high value. The Iraqi citizens are beginning to recover from the ravages of the war and the reign of terror. There's concern that the foreign exchange rate is artificial and is not a true reflection of the value of the dinar. With Saddam Hussein no longer being there, no longer directly influencing the economy, Iraq has a healthy oil industry, so the economy is growing rapidly. Again, and Iraq has great future potential. It also talks about how there was a threat of ISIL, which people call ISIS, but I will not defame the goddess by calling it ISIS. ISIL, or the terrorist organization that was in Iraq, was removed about a decade ago. But with the threat of ISIL there, it demolished their economy. But now with ISIL being removed, the economy is once again thriving. And this is why the Iraqi people celebrate every year at the beginning of the year. Was it? No, it was actually at the end of it. They celebrate every year, and they had a huge celebration in December to celebrate or commemorate getting rid of ISIL and all terroristic factions in their country. So again, they are on the precipice of change. Additionally, we reported to you all last week, you can look on my channel for Breaking Iraqi News on the live section, that Iran is standing down. As a matter of fact, President Trump said that the United States Treasury Department has now have to monitor the financial system in Iraq. And he told Iran to stand down from Iraq and that Iran can no longer control Iraq's financial system. This came on the precipice, or excuse me, on the heels of Iran just last month telling the news and telling the world that America needs to leave Iraq. How does Iran have the power to tell America to leave Iraq? I don't know, but their supreme leader called on American troops to leave Iraq. And as I reported last week, there were two different perspectives. Iran saw our troops being there as oppositional, whereas Iraq's government said, no, we want America's troops to stay here because we see them here as being advisory or playing an advisory role. So the Prime Minister, the Supreme Minister of Iran said, I'm calling for American troops to leave Iraq. And Trump said, we're not going anywhere. And now, just like a month later, now Iran is saying, okay, we're not going to bother with America Not only are we saying no longer are we going to call on American troops to leave Iraq, but we're going to leave ourselves. So Iraq is now free. And I reported that. When did I report that? 4 days ago. Oh, wow. I thought it was a long time. I thought it was like 7 days ago, but it was about 4 days ago. And let me show you that here. You want to pay attention to this because I put articles in all of my videos, but particularly for those of you interested in Iraq, I definitely put all the articles, breaking news articles, videos in my Iraqi news reports because I am subscribed to many different news outlets out of Iraq. Sometimes I can't read it, so I have to have my computer translate it. And so I put the translated version of the articles in these videos. So here's one here that I did 4 days ago. This is what my channel looks like. Here, Dr. Kia Pruitt, 10,000 subscribers, 140 videos. This is my newest channel. As you know, you all know, I'm often censored. I have many channels taken down, but we're grateful that we now have this channel and everything is going well. Here is one of the videos here from 4 days ago. And then here's one about the military's in control. Let me see if I can find any more about Iraq. Here's another one that I did. Whoops, I think, looks like that was a month ago. It was a month ago. Yeah. Right there. So let me see if I can find an article for you here in this particular podcast that says Iraq is now free. Let me see. Yes. President Trump issued a directive requiring the Treasury Department to immediately ensure that Iran no longer utilizes or control the Iraqi financial system. And let me see here. I'll bring it up. This is a tweet here, but then the person who tweets this does show you just a snippet of this executive order from President Trump. Hold on. And again, this is letting you know that Iraq is now free from the control of Iran. They're free. The payment systems are in place. I put in the articles in that particular podcast and the ones before. They have agreements with France. They have agreements with the UK and with America, with the governments and the businessmen to trade and for the businessmen to actually invest in those countries. So this is a Representative Joe Wilson. He says, I'm grateful that President Trump issued a directive requiring the Treasury Department to immediately make sure that the Iraqi financial system is no longer controlled by or utilized by the Iranian regime. I told you Trump would fix it. And here is part of that executive order. Take immediate steps in coordination with the Secretary of the Treasury and other relevant agencies to ensure that the Iraqi financial system is not utilized by Iran for sanctions evasions or circumvention, and ensure that the Gulf countries are not used as sanctions evasions transshipment points. Okay. He said, I told you Trump would fix it. Representative Joe Wilson. Iraq is ready, family. Are you? We are on the precipice of becoming extremely wealthy. So in the meantime, what I would suggest, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I do research, what I would suggest is that we be prepared to put all of your currencies. Well, you do want to put your currencies in a trust. You want to study trust. Right now, the system that we're under uses the EIN from the IRS. So this is the trust that people are using now. However, you know that Trump is dismantling the IRS, right? He said that he was going to get rid of the Internal Revenue Service and implement the External Revenue Service. So we'd have to use what we have. So some people are putting their assets in the trust that we have. However, consider that You can use a foreign EIN, which still comes from the IRS, but that's one way of circumventing the United States Incorporated. Or you can wait until you do the currency exchange, and you can ask your wealth manager to help you do a common law trust. And the reason why you want to trust is because your trust holds your wealth and you control the trust. Remember, I think it was President Roosevelt, one of the presidents said, what they say, own nothing, control everything. So you want to control your assets, but not hold them in your name, because somebody can sue you and then take all your assets from you. Put your assets in a trust. Again, your wealth manager should be able to help you with a common law trust. And there was a particular name for it. Common law living business irrevocable trust. Common law living business irrevocable trust is supposed to be one of the most solid trusts there is. In the current system, the most solid trust that we have is one that's attached to a foreign EIN, and that is the 508c3 private trust that allows you to operate outside the jurisdiction of the United States Incorporated. If you're interested in that particular trust, the 508c3, that's the most powerful trust that we have in this system, according to the United States Incorporated. You can contact Chief Mack at unityandmotion45@yahoo.com for a consultation on what those trusts look like, how to get a trust, and he will give you information about that. The trust for our republic that many of us are really excited about would be a common law trust. Common law is in alignment with constitutional law, okay? The natural trust, a common law trust, the trust according to our republic is where you want to hold your assets. What they say, control nothing. No. Own nothing, control everything. So a trust is where you put your assets, like your currencies, land, automobiles or cars, your home or your homes, your businesses. And you typically put them in separate or individual trusts so that they can all be held by, its own individual entity. And you control all of those trusts. And you will control all your wealth while you're living and from the grave. You will be able to determine how those assets will be divided. So a trust is different from a will. A will only determines your desires, how you desire your assets to be divided, but that doesn't guarantee your assets will be divided that way. And all wills go through probate. It still go through the court system, the current court system we know the court system doesn't always have our best interests at heart. We know anybody that has Esquire behind their name, we love them, okay? This is no slight against them. We just know that you have Esquire behind your name as a lawyer or as a judge, which means you had to pass the bar, which means that passing the British accredited registry means that you actually work with or work for the British Crown. Okay. So unfortunately, you have to go through whatever system that's attached to that. So the trust, the will goes through probate, and any fines that the attorneys assess, like say somebody contests your will, it has to go through probate. Somebody may contest it. Any money that has to be paid to those attorneys come out of your assets. And then probate can take a long time. It's a lengthy process. And then keep in mind, if people keep contesting and say you remarried as a man and you said you wanted your assets to go to your children, but you have a new wife and the wife isn't related to these new children. And the wife says, no, I'm contesting this. I don't want these children. You said in your will, you want your children to get some assets. No, I'm contesting it. Then the children contesting. Everybody's going back and forth to court. All that money is coming out of your assets, out of your will. And then the lengthy process, it can keep coming out. And then the court at the end of the day can decide how those assets can be divided. They can say, well, some of this will go to the wife, some of this will go to the children, or none of it will go to your children, all go to the wife. Doesn't matter that you said before you passed that my desire is for everything to go to my children or everything to go to my wife. It doesn't matter. So wills only state your desire. They all go through probate. Every single fee comes out of your estate, and it's a lengthy process. The difference between the will is that, and then you have the trust. The trust is solid. Whatever you say is what goes. Whatever you say goes. It does not go through probate. It is typically not a lengthy process. It holds all your assets, and the trustee, you're the grantor. The trustee is the one that determines how those assets will be divided according to what you stated. The trustee goes by your will or your wishes. So it's completely different. The trust operates totally outside of the jurisdiction of the United States Incorporated, the courts, the system, all of that. So start studying trust and look for a common law trust advisor if you can. I don't know if they exist right now, or you can wait until we do currency exchanges and the wealth managers will help you, according to what I've been told, to establish trust. So study up on trust, prepare for your trust. If you want to operate within the system that we have now, you can get a trust lawyer or a trust advisor to give you a trust. It will have an EIN number attached to it that comes from the IRS, or you can get a foreign EIN number through the 508c3, which is a solid trust in this current system. But think about different trusts and put all your assets in trust. Also, what I would encourage you to do if you are interested, it's what I told my family to do, and this is just my personal opinion, it's not financial advice, but think about how you're going to spend your money. Think about your humanitarian projects. Think about what type of house or land or business you want to create, what type of crops you want to grow, all those type of things. Get right now in mind all those things, because we're right at the precipice, family, to becoming extremely wealthy. We are right at the door, right there. Okay. Iraq is not the only country that's thriving, open for business, economically stable. You look at my Iraqi videos and all my different podcasts, I show you articles that say they're now stable. They've implemented policies. They're ready. But Vietnam is ready. Vietnam was thriving during the global pandemic. In 2020, when the whole world was shut down, Vietnam was doing extremely well because Trump was still in office. That was his first term. And he had these tariff wars between him and China. So all those countries that had left America that were now based in China were like, uh-oh, Trump is going to put tariffs on us. So they moved to Vietnam because they could still exploit the wealth there. They could invest in the country, and they still had cheap labor there. That them moving from China to Vietnam rose the GDP in Vietnam. At the same time, Vietnam solidified different peace agreements, got some allies and trade agreements with other Eastern Asian countries. I did a whole podcast on that called Be a Billionaire, Become a Billionaire. And all of this made Vietnam's GDP go up, and the companies were thriving. The doors were still open. The ports were still open. They were still open for business when the whole world was shut down. And they're still thriving. And the Vietnamese president came to America and asked Texas billionaires and American businessmen to do business in Vietnam. The same happened in Venezuela. Venezuelan government asked American businessmen and women to invest in Venezuela. So we're on the precipice of change. Thank you. Somebody says great info. Thank you, Dr. Key. You are welcome. I will re-upload the video that I did called Become a Billionaire, because I break down what's going on in Iraq, Vietnam, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe for all of you that are interested in those particular currencies. And then finally, I wanted to share with you what Elon Musk just did. Ooh. I'm going to share with you what he just did, and then we're going to go back to this meeting that's happening, or that happened today in America as it relates to digital assets. So let me see what Elon Musk just did. Here it is. I don't want to bring that one up yet. Elon Musk is on a rampage. Both he and President Trump. Elon Musk calls for the Consumer Financial Protection Agency to use their remaining account balance to be returned to the American taxpayers. This was in the leading report on Twitter. I'll show you 1 minute. We've been on for 1 hour and 24 minutes, family. I'll not keep you on longer than I'll do my best not to keep you on longer than 2 hours. Here is the report. Look at this. Breaking news. Elon Musk calls for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's remaining account balance of $711,588,678 to be returned to the American taxpayers. Elon Musk is using DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency, to dismantle many different government agencies and to lessen or reduce government agencies. Did you see that? $711,586,687 must be returned back to American taxpayers. Wonderful news. Wonderful news, right? Let me know your thoughts, family. When I say we're on the precipice of global wealth, I'm very, very serious. Now, earlier I showed you that there was a meeting that was to be held on today around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I wasn't quite sure what the outcome of that meeting was, and we'll dig into that tomorrow. But this was a press release. Here it says, together we can assure that stablecoin issuers, digital asset firms, and blockchain developers can operate under fair, transparent, and predictable rules in the United States. This just coming out at the same time that we're hearing rumors that President Trump and his administration is talking about returning the United States dollar to a gold-backed currency, or exchanging out the USD that was attached to the Federal Reserve Central Banking System to the gold standard. Okay. Today, the House Finance Service Committee is holding a digital assets, financial technology, and artificial intelligence subcommittee hearing that's led by the subcommittee chair, Brian Stile. And the reason why they were meeting was to examine existing use cases for digital assets. So they want to know, what would it look like to use digital assets and blockchain technology? And they want to explore why this technology holds vast potential to revolutionizing the American economy. Here it talks about the subcommittee's opening meeting. And it talks about how there was a lack of regulatory clarity and how this hurt American investments, and it also impacted everyday Americans. Let's be clear. The Biden administration's approach opened the door to bad actors and left consumers more vulnerable to fraud. So we can read right here his opening remarks. This is Subcommittee Chair Stiles' opening remarks as he prepared for delivery. Good afternoon, and welcome to the first meeting of the House Financial Services, Digital Assets, Financial Technology, and Artificial Intelligence Subcommittee. Today, we resume the work that the subcommittee started last Congress under the leadership of the subcommittee chairman, French Hill. I am grateful to the now full committee chairman for trusting me to pick up the mantle and continue our legislative work to provide clarity for the digital asset ecosystem. So those people that don't know if we're going to be using digital assets, it looks like it. This technology has the potential to modernize our financial infrastructure, embrace the dollar's dominance in global markets, increase the efficiency of payments both domestically and abroad, and provide American businesses and consumers with a faster, cheaper, more transparent way to transact in an increasing digital economy. Under the Biden administration, we saw regulatory overreach and a pattern of enforcement-driven actions that stifled innovation, especially in the digital asset ecosystem. Instead of working with Congress to establish clear guidelines, the Biden administration opted for an unpredictable and hostile approach that left American entrepreneurs, businesses, and consumers in a state of uncertainty. Agencies took inconsistent, often contradictory actions, pushing innovations offshore and threatening America's leadership. This lack of regulatory clarity not only hurt American investors and investments, it also impacted everyday Americans. So let's be clear that the Biden administration's approach opened the door to bad actors and it left consumers more vulnerable to fraud. While the EU, and even developing nations, also formerly known as third world nations, had advanced regulatory frameworks in digital assets, the United States had fallen behind. Our government's failure to act could mean that the benefits of digital assets and blockchain technology will be realized elsewhere, while the American consumer and entrepreneurs and financial institutions are left navigating an uncertain landscape. Under the Trump administration, though, we will course correct by creating a workable pathway for responsible digital asset companies to set up operations in the United States. We'll take several positive changes, he said. President Trump will issue an executive order on digital assets. The SEC repealed SAB, or the Bill 121, and the FDIC has announced that it's re-evaluating its supervisory approach to cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency activities. And I will leave the rest for you to read at your discretion, family. So it brings to mind what type of currencies will be using in the new golden era. You'll be using America's new country's currency. Some people are saying it's a rainbow currency. Our new United States Treasury note, or United States note, USN, that will be backed by gold, one, or you'll be able to use gold or silver as money. And that's why 46 states right now have reclaimed gold and silver as money. And or you'll be able to use digital assets. So 3 different modes of exchange. Currency backed by gold and silver, and digital assets. It'll be your choice. This is wonderful news. Wonderful. Why am I bringing up digital assets? Because President Trump said he wanted to make us the world leader in digital assets and in artificial intelligence. Another reason why I'm bringing up digital assets, family, is because right now it is what people are calling a devalued asset, meaning that's very cheap. The way many people became wealthy during the Depression, the 1929, 1930, was by buying depreciated assets. You can mimic what they did in history and become wealthy by investing in depreciated assets, such as silver and gold, right? Because they had recognized gold as a commodity. Now we're recognizing it as money. That's why 46 states have repealed the state sales tax on the sales of precious metals. But get it now while you can before gold is revalued. I'm going to put up a video tomorrow with the CEO of Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. His name escaped. Andy Sheckman, talking about how gold, in fact, will be revalued. Okay. So digital assets will be used as money as well as gold. But if you want, again, to experience the greatest wealth transfer in history by buying depreciated assets, gold and silver has been depreciated, devalued. They were suppressing the prices of gold and silver for so long, but now you see gold continuously rising. As a matter of fact, gold reached a new all-time high just the other day. Silver is rising. So you got gold and silver was a depreciating asset. You have digital assets or digital coins. You have XLM, XRP, XDC. Put in the chat, HBAR is a digital asset. What else? What other digital assets do we have, family? Put it in the chat. Ethereum, I think people are talking about. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm saying while they're low and there's some new ones that are coming out, you may consider investing while they're just a percentage of a penny and hold on to them, hodl, hold on for dear life until they go up in value. You'll become wealthy. Another depreciated asset is real estate. Okay. Many of those big companies, Blackstreet, BlackRock, Blackstreet, State Street, Zillow, other companies, Cornerstone, that bought up these housing complexes, these apartment complexes and houses and land because people were losing their homes during the global pandemic. They couldn't afford it and everything was being foreclosed upon. These big companies bought up the real estate and then put up the rents because they knew that people had to find a place to live. Okay. Then they just kept increasing the rent every year until it got to the point that people now had to leave their homes, even the ones they rented. And now we have a huge homelessness problem that was worse than what we saw before the global pandemic. Okay. Now that the rents have gone up so high that people can't afford them, these companies are dumping the real estate, the houses, the apartment complexes right back onto the market. Many of these companies behind the scenes are filing for bankruptcy. They're in trouble or they're on the bankruptcy watch list. Okay. Also, when you think about China's largest real estate company, Evergrande, they have bought land, farmland, houses, apartment complexes right here in America. Well, a couple of years ago, they filed for bankruptcy. About a year and a half to 2 years ago, they filed for bankruptcy here in America. And they were required to liquidate their assets. So all of these houses will be dumped right back onto the market, which means that the market, the real estate market, is taking a downturn. This is a good time to watch the markets. And if you're in the market, consider, when is the best time to buy depreciated assets we're talking about. So we're seeing a downturn in the real estate market. Also, some of the stocks are going down in value. Although we have heard that the stock market could collapse, it could crash because it's attached to the United States dollar. So you have to know when to get into investments and when to hold, when to fold, when to, get a return on your investment. Okay. So you have that. You have automobiles, which I reported last year that the automobile collapse started last year because people weren't able to afford their loans, their car notes, because the employment rate had increased so much. So what was happening was these companies were laying off Americans and replacing Americans with, unfortunately, with illegal and unlawful migrants and immigrants. And when you replace American workers with migrants and immigrants who are not even on paper, you can pay them whatever you want. Okay. So people were losing their jobs and not able to pay their bills, not able to pay their student loans, not able to pay their automobile loans. And so automobile lenders reported last year that the automobile collapse had begun, to the extent that they just wrote off loans and said, just forget it. We can't do anything about it. We just take the loss. And when they would try to go and repossess the cars, they realized they didn't even have enough workers to go and collect those cars. So look at depreciating assets. This is how people became wealthy during the Depression. And consider, if that's what you want to do, investing in silver, gold RM notes. I've shown you many times. You can get some gold RM notes for as little as $3. I saw some that were on sale at JM Bullion and SDBullion.com. Those are two different websites for as little as $2.62. Gold RM notes are 0.999 pure gold pressed onto a 14 karat note or pressed onto a 24 karat, 24 carats pressed onto a note. And they work as legal tender, meaning you can use them to exchange for local goods and services. So there's silver by way of bullion, coins, or what else? Coins, or what else are bullion in? Coins, or gosh, I see it right in my mind. Help me out, family. I can't think of the other word. Just look for silver bullion, or you can get constitutional silver, which is actually 90% silver. And those are coins that were minted before 1964. And some people call that silver junk silver. Those are a little less, thank you, a little less than constitutional silver or junk silver, or pre-1964 minted silver are less than, at times, depending where you get it from, silver bullion. And thank you so much, MMM. I appreciate it. It's either silver coins or silver bars. So that's the type of silver you can get: bullion, coins or bars, or pre 1964 minted silver called constitutional silver or junk silver. You can get that from an online dealer. There are many online dealers. You can Google it. You can get it from the company with whom I was affiliated, Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. You guys know him. You can find him on X, on Twitter. And we have shown you that number, 952-929-7006. Or you can send an email to info@milesfranklin.com and let them know that you heard about them from the Dr. Pruitt Show. Or you can look up an online dealer, SD Bullion, JM Bullion, Money Metals, Great American Coin Company, Gold, Silver, Bulls. There are many different companies. Or if you really want to establish relationships right in your local community, go to your local coin dealer. Look up coin dealer near me or numismatics near me, and you will see the coin dealing companies that many of them have been there for decades, because usually they're family-owned companies right in your community. Their prices will be a little higher than online dealers. However, you'll be able to take possession of your coins right away. Okay, so you can get silver bars or coins, or you can get constitutional silver, or you can get sterling silver. Constitutional silver is about 90 to 95% silver. Or you can get sterling silver. Remember, sterling silver used to be like the utensils, the cups, and different things your grandma used to use to serve people with. Sterling silver is 92% real silver. You can get that from an antique shop. Silver or gold, local shop, online dealers. Or you can get currencies, also known as foreign assets or foreign reserve, or foreign notes, like the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, the Venezuelan bolivar, the Zimbabwean zim, the Indonesian rupiah, the Indian rupee. Okay, whatever you can, family, because many of those are just, some of them are a few dollars, some of them go all the way up to $100 or more. The earlier you get into it, the better. But remember, I showed you reports where people are getting email and messages from dealers saying, we are hearing from the Trump administration that the time is almost up. They are about to revalue the Iraqi dinar. I showed you the proof. I would say, if you want to know if you should get a silver round or what type of silver to get, call an online dealer. I have a personal relationship with Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. Their dealers, or their, what do you call the people there? The people that deal with the agents. Agent's not even the right name, but they will tell you exactly what they have, how each coin operates. They can even answer your questions about geopolitical news as it relates to gold and silver, and ask them which is best. Coins are, they're a little smaller than like big bars, because they have bars. You can get 5 ounce, 10 ounce, 100 ounce bars. You can get a kilo, which is about a kilogram, which is about 34 ounces. It's a bar. It really depends on how much space you have and what's best for you. Coins are good because it's, in one instance, because you might just want to go, get something inexpensively or something with just one coin. Whereas a bar might be something that you would have if you want to invest a lot of money into a bar. It's bigger though, and it's heavier. So you have to consider that. And you got to consider where you're going to store it. It just really depends on what you want to do. Because if you have a coin, you have a whole lot of coins if you got a whole lot of money. So ask an advisor and consider what kind of space you're working with. Now, if you have a retirement like an as an IRA or a 401k, you can also roll that over into silver and or gold. And I know Miles Franklin has a program that'll do that. And they have a storage unit. If you don't want to store it at home or in the ground or whatever, they do have a storage unit. But they also have that program where they can roll over a 401k and those retirement accounts into silver and gold. And you can take some of that into possession right away. So I would say do your research and just consider what kind of storage you have. What do you want to use the silver and gold for? And other things you can ask. Write down the questions that you want to ask because, the experts in silver and gold will be able to answer better. I do have my personal opinion, but since I'm not a financial advisor, I have to be very careful. And again, you can reach out to Miles Franklin at 952-929-7006 or send an email to info@milesfranklin.com or go to your local dealer. That was an excellent question. I like them both, honestly. I like coins because, one coin might be about worth what, $35 right now? Let's see. Gold is $2,898, so it's dropping just a little bit, but it must have been $2,900. Silver is just a little less than $32. You might have one coin and you might say, I want to exchange just a couple of coins so I can pay an electric bill, or you know what I'm saying? Or I just want a couple coins in case I need to barter with a local merchant for some groceries. That might be what a coin is good for. Even constitutional money, because all merchants recognize constitutional coins, pre-1964 minted coins as money. They know that. That would be a good idea. But to store your wealth for a lot of money, it may be a good idea to get bars. But again, I would ask somebody who actually deals with metals about that. So here is the gold price right now, $2,000 per ounce, $2,898.24 per ounce, and silver is $31.84 per ounce. Let me see when was gold at an all-time high. It must have just hit another all-time high at $2,800. Let's see. When did gold hit an all-time high? Okay, let's see. 14 hours ago? Yep. Okay, here's one article that was just printed 13 hours ago. I'm going to show that to you. We've been on for 1 hour, 47 minutes, family. Let me know if you want me to keep going. I will. If you're exhausted, if you're tired, we can shut it down because I don't want to bore your patience. Gold prices hit all-time highs. Let me see. Get rid of these ads. Gold prices hit all-time highs. The article says it hit a record today, Tuesday. Are we at Tuesday? Is this Tuesday or Wednesday? I think this is Tuesday. It hit a record Tuesday. What's today? Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know. I'm losing my days since I don't work every day for somebody else. Sometimes I forget what day it is. This must be Wednesday if they're saying this article was 14 hours ago. It says Tuesday is spurred by safe haven demands as President Trump puts new tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. There were heightened concerns about a possible global trade war. So spot gold hit a peak of $2,942 per ounce in Asian trading hours before easing to stand at 0.1% higher at $2,909. Excuse me, family. So gold, 1 minute, gold just hit a new record. Let us know what you think, family. Once One second. I just want to make sure everybody's okay. I keep getting calls. Thank you all. In the meantime, for those of you who are sending me Cash App blessings, I really appreciate it. Um, I appreciate the reciprocity. I give information. You bless me financially, and you bless me with your time and your energy, and I'm so extremely grateful. Oh, I don't like that right there. I don't like that. Oh, that's too big. So those of some people are asking how they can send me a gift. You can send it to $Mama Kia 13. And let's get rid of that. I don't even like the way that looks. One second, family. I don't know if you all have been having problems, but I've been having serious problems with my telephone where I can't answer my calls all day. It's wild. And yesterday I was having problems with my internet on my phone and on my computer. I don't know what's going on. So I won't bore your patience too long. I would say, silver and gold were depreciated, but now you don't have the people in power that were suppressing the prices that are able to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Jermaine Oliver, God bless you for the Cash App blessing. You guys are amazing. Those people are no longer in power, family, that could suppress the silver and gold prices. So now you're going to see a revaluation of gold and silver, or where gold and silver prices will go back to their normal value. And some economists have said in order to pay off the debt, you have to revalue gold between $10,000 an ounce and $100,000 an ounce. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying what economists have said. So gold will revalue, it will go up, and then it will correct eventually. But why not get in while it is on the lower end if you can afford it? So you have gold and silver, you have land, you have gold, silver, and land, and there's one more. That's wealth. Oh, currencies in which you can invest, and or stocks and bonds. Remember, President Trump just created a sovereign wealth fund, which is a fund comprised of stocks, bonds, silver, gold, foreign assets, foreign currencies, and all other types of assets, digital assets. And that sovereign wealth fund is so that the government can use for two purposes: for developing, like helping with the infrastructure, developing, and for investing. And this means having the sovereign wealth fund that will mean that the country as a whole, the republic, will have enough assets to conduct business with foreign nations and in our own countries without taxing the people. So no longer will we have an internal revenue services where we'll be taxing the people. We'll have our money already in this sovereign wealth fund. So even President Trump is buying up, or not Trump, but the government, the republic is buying assets so that they can use why they're depreciated, so they can use those assets for two things: developments and investing in other things. And that was a vehicle that other countries, oil-rich nations, already have sovereign wealth funds. And I did a report on that as well. President Trump issuing out an executive order to create a sovereign wealth fund. I'm not sure what year is the best year to buy for Bolivar. Family, can you put that in the chat? It was, because I was looking at Bolivar like years ago before people knew about it, because there was somebody from Venezuela that used to be a popular podcaster back in like 2017. I was saying, get Bolivar. So I don't know what the denomination they're saying now. You did? Oh, I Inez Rice L says, Dr. Kia, I met Chief Mack last Saturday at the 9 Ether God Body event given by Black Magic 363 at the new Black Wall Street in Stonecrest, Georgia. And he has very awesome energy. He is an amazing man. He has a stellar reputation. He's an outstanding guy. He's upstanding in his principles and his moralities. He's not a womanizer. He's just an overall good guy. Like all the people that know him, the women that are around him speak highly of him. His former companion, his child, his business partners, they love him. And I've met him in person, and I have a relationship. Like, we're really good friends with him, and we have a business relationship as well. Just a wonderful, wonderful person. If you are interested in contacting him for a private trust with the 508c3, then you can contact Chief Mack at unityemotion45@yahoo.com. UNITY, the number 4, number 5 at yahoo.com. If you want to do a consultation, he does have a small consultation fee that you can send to him, and he will be glad to answer your questions about trust, about operating in sovereignty, operating outside the United States jurisdiction, how to stand on your own as a sovereign being. He just has wonderful information. That's why we've had him on our podcast many times. Diana says, I have silver round bars as well, junk silver, and copper too, because copper will go up. Copper is a precious metal. Big Law says, always get 0.999 gold or silver. A Million Man Prayer says, the new Bolivar notes, 200 or 500 digitales you can get. The 200 notes, he said, will be worth more than 20 quadrillion, even if it's only 20 cents. So do the math. Josh says, hi, Kia, is it logical to say that the RV, Nasara and Jasara, debt jubilee, and the IRS going away, no taxes, that it can't happen until the war is over? Well, I would say either till the war is over, or we've reached a critical mass, or we reach a critical or a monumental point in the war. Okay, Trump said he would totally decimate the deep state. He's issuing out a lot of executive orders, their own, using their tools to destroy them. So it is possible that we have enough of them that has been dealt with that we can have an RV. But yes, I would say that you have to have the deep state done away with before you can do a currency exchange. But we don't know if we've reached that point. I don't know how many people have been arrested, how many people have been dealt with at Guantanamo Bay. But yes, the reason why we haven't done it up to now was because you still had evil people in power. And if we had an RV or an exchange of currencies before the time, then they would just steal your wealth and re-empower themselves. Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing. Let me go ahead and thank you all. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Love Being New V, and says, thank you for supporting the show and your love to Dr. Kia Pruitt. You are greatly appreciated. I love you so much, sister. Thank you. Chief Mack says, everything is being reset. Hello, darling. Chief Mack's in the house, family. So anybody that wants to reach out to him, here is his Unity and Emotion 45 at yahoo.com. I'll put it in the chat for you. Hi, Chief. Yes, everything is being reset. Every single thing. And I agree, they must be messing with things, because I was having problems with my phone all day. That's not normal. So quickly, let me say to all the people who reached out and blessed me through Cash App, thank you, Andra Marshall, Jermaine Oliver, Francine Hampton. Thank you, Jacqueline Loden, Dale Moore. Thank you, Chief Mack. I love you. Thank you so much. Dennis Perkins. Thank you. Philippa Nicholson, Theo R. Wolford, God bless you. Leonard Lassiter Bay, thank you. Joanne Lamson, God bless you. Philip, thank you. Milton Griggs, Barbara Pittman, Cynthia Parker, Leah Whitmire, and Norma J. Taylor, God bless you. Heaven smile on you. I appreciate you all so much for all of the blessings and all of your time that you spent here on the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. Let's see. Any more questions? Any more questions? We almost reached the 2 hour mark. Love being Nubian said, keep going. You sure, sister? I do not want to wear out people's patience. Oh, today is Tuesday. So gold reached an all-time high today. Wow. $2,000, $2,090 per ounce. And silver hit $32. Thank you, JoJo. Wow. Jermaine says, keep going. Okay, I'll keep going so that I can answer your questions. People need to get the 200 and 500 digitales. Thank you. That's the sleeper. Okay. It's going to be big, big, big. $1 million man prayer says. You have some bars. Can I explain a universal basic income? Okay. A universal basic income is what countries usually give to their nationals, a certain amount of money per week or bi-weekly or per month so that they can sustain themselves. Oil-rich nations have done this historically, and some of them still do it, like Qatar and some of the other oil-rich nations. Here in America, we would do something similar through Nasara. We would give every single national over the age of 21 a certain amount of money. Some people say it'll be $10,000 per month or more. And the amount of 10,000 between 100,000, that sounds a lot, right? For 11 years in a non-interest bearing account. So let me look it up. Universal basic income. Let me see if I can look up the definition so I can show it to you. I gave you my definition, but here we go. So that you can see it for yourself. We've been on for 2 hours, family. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts. I know some people probably just getting home from work as well. So we'll do a quick summary. Financial support provided by a government in the form of standard recurring payments to individuals without the need for pre-qualification is what a universal basic income is. The latest country that I saw that promised a universal basic income was Guyana in South America. They said that any national over the age of 18, some articles say 18, some say over the age of 21, will receive a one-time grant of $100,000 in their account to be used for whatever they can so that they could take care of themselves. And the president said that he would make sure that all of that is paid out by the beginning of 2025. And he said that this is actually something that he's doing as just to a test to see how it works out. So that looks like JASARA, the Global Economic Security Reformation Act, and our national version would be the NESAR, National Economic Security and Reformation Act. Let's see if I can find Guyana $100,000 grant. I'll put that in the description section for you as well. But just so you can see an example, here is an example of a universal basic income. Overseas-based Guyanese are eligible for a $100,000 grant. This is the one for people that are overseas. There's another article that talks about being in country. If you're a Guyanese and you live abroad in America or in any other country, you can receive this $100,000 cash grant, but you have to go back to your country. So it says the governor of Guyana is currently developing a mobile application for persons to register for the much anticipated $100,000 one-off cash grant. And this was announced by Vice President Jagdeo, who on Thursday said the app, this was in October or November, let's see when it was, said that the app is being developed and tested by the Minister of Finance. He noted that the app would have compulsory fields that be used, et cetera, et cetera. The grant will not be paid overseas. We have no intention to go into New York or Toronto to register people. They have to be in Guyana to register here, and they will be eligible as Guyanese, provided they have the requisite documents to prove it, he told reporters. So in other articles, it says that as long as you are in country, you prove that you're a national and you're over a certain age, you're an adult, then you'll be able to receive that $100,000 grant. And so that is a universal basic income for the people in that country. Hopefully, family, you guys can still hear me on my platforms. Okay, look like I still see you on Rumble as well. So I don't want to bore your patience, family. I'm only going to go just a few more minutes. Let's see. Do I recommend the silver round? Okay, we got that question. Let's see. Diviner says, I have a monthly silver coin subscription where I receive silver coins every month. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you, love. You are gold. Wow. Thank you. God bless you. Olga says she has a humanitarian project already done. She did it on Canva. I want to buy a complex for homeless people, but it sounds like we won't have that issue, thanks heavens. Yeah, I'm going to do a humanitarian project as well as all of you because we love our soul family. We love all people, humanity. I will say that people that are saying that you must have a humanitarian project in order to cash in or to exchange your currencies may be inserting their personal opinion, because most people have not experienced a currency exchange. The last currency exchange, when the Iraqi dinar revalued and people became millionaires, happened in the 1990s. And I met a gentleman. He was actually a soldier. His brother was high up in the military. His brother told him about it. And he became a millionaire. His brother became a multimillionaire. The reason why he only became a millionaire, not a multimillionaire, is because he got tired of waiting and he sold off his currencies before it revalued. So he told me it was a simple exchange process. You went to the bank, they told you the new rate, you got your money. A lot of people now are saying you must have a humanitarian project, and that could be the case, or it could be that we're going to already have humanitarian projects because Trump has promised since his first administration to inject trillions of dollars into the global economy. And then just last week, he issued out an executive order for that sovereign wealth fund, which will have lots of money for investments and development. The Republic, our new government that's online, that's operating right now side by side with the United States Incorporated, that's been dismantled, has enough wealth to take care of the homeless. So our humanitarian projects, maybe to be used in the interim before the wealth fund comes out. I don't know. But like you said, don't look like we'll need it. But it's a good idea just to create a humanitarian fund. I will say that there were these programs called global settlements and humanitarian prosperity programs that had come out in the 80s and 90s from the government at the time. And what they were doing, they were reaching out to churches looking for humanitarians. And they said there will come a time when a lot of money, trillions of dollars, will be injected into the global economy. So we're looking for people who will be able to create humanitarian projects. This was before the RV, they knew we were about to have a new global currency reset, or RV. But they said all this money that's being stored for these humanitarian projects has to go through some bodies. And so the Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of Urban and Housing Development, for example, he would go around to different people, look at their humanitarian projects through the church. And these people had to have a thorough background check done. They had to go through many, many steps, and they had to write out clear, concise plans what their humanitarian projects would look like. Those people were approved or disapproved. That happened in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so the global settlements, because they knew there was going to be some global settlements all around the world, and prosperity humanitarian projects that were issued from the government through the churches, knew that at some point we would get there. And so what it looks like is people that are, in the currency exchange community right now, the RV, with the RV revaluation, they may be mixing up the two programs, saying you have to have a humanitarian project in order to get a new rate and to exchange your currency. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so I personally don't think you have to have a humanitarian project. I think that's something that was put in place before, and now they're like mixing the two, the prosperity and global, what is it? Global Settlements and Prosperity Program. I think they're mixing that with the revaluation of the RV. So it doesn't look like we'll have to have humanitarian projects, but that's just Dr. Kia Pruitt's word. I don't know for certain, you know. So like you, I have projects set out because it doesn't matter if I have to have one or not. My desire is to help certain people. I desire to help the homeless, and I think my priority is to help people that struggle with drug addictions because it has affected my bloodline. Not my generation, but the generation before me. A lot of uncles, aunts, cousins, like second cousins, suffered from drug addiction, and many of them, passed away, or either they had a very, very hard time getting off drugs, because once you try it and your body gets exposed to it, then your brain starts to develop these pockets where it actually needs and requires the drug. And I know that because I was a drug rehabilitation counselor. I studied for my master's degree just regular counseling. I did vocational counseling, therapy, talk therapy, counseling, all types of counseling. And then I studied drug counseling. And when I learned how severe drugs were, and I saw it taking out my family members, I was like, I had to get out. I could no longer do the therapy because people would try so hard and get so much help, go through so many programs, but their body craves it and they need it because their body develops these, like I said, your brain develops like pockets where it starts to, and they expand and it starts to need to be filled with that drug. And then the withdrawals are so intense, you feel like you're dying. Watching people withdraw was the most horrifying thing I've ever experienced, like watching that type of trauma. So that's the population I desire to help. Chief Mack says we're going to buy them and put the homelessness in them. I think he's talking about the homes. Thank you for the Cash App blessing, Colleen Noventree. Thank you so much. God bless you all. You're so awesome. You're so amazing. I appreciate you. May the Most High bless you 1,000-fold more than what you have given to me. I appreciate you. We're going to get our luxury cars and shine together, Chief Mack said. Absolutely. Aboriginal Turtle Island says, consider XLM when it comes to digital assets. Aborigine says IOTA also. Gen X said, great live. I appreciate you. Love BN says, it's a lot of snow where she is. That started at 2 p.m. Wow. And Golden Arrow said that she had snow too. Hi, Dan. It's good to see you. Don, excuse me. I'm always happy to see you, Don. I'm glad you can chat. I told you I didn't block you from the chat, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here. I don't know why you were having problems the other day. Bobby Keene, Iraq Dinar who is I guess a podcaster, uploaded Iraqi Dinar, about the Iraqi Dinar. PM, Al Sudani's bold promise, no new appointments until Ibril and HCL are finalized. He announced that 45 minutes ago. Thank you, sweetheart. Any questions, family, before we get off the live? What's the difference between exchanging currencies brought a while back versus currencies just brought? Is there a difference when exchanging? Are you saying like what's the difference between the currency exchange that occurred like in 1990 and before and the ones now? If that's what you mean, the only thing I know of is the only thing I've been told is it's a simple exchange. You'll go to a wealth management center, formerly known as a bank, or a bank, which is a wealth management center now, and you'll present your currencies. They do have de la rue machines and other measures to make sure that the currency is valid. They'll give you the new exchange rate, and then you can talk to a wealth manager about how to manage your wealth. I heard wealth managers will help you as well with your trust, and you can ask them any questions. That's what I say. What some people say is if you have a humanitarian project or you ask for a better rate, they will give you a better rate. And that would be new from the last, according to what my information, than the last types of currency exchanges. Some people are saying you can get a regular rate, a sovereign rate, a contract rate. I don't know any information about that. Okay. I have had people on my podcast that have said that's what they know and that's what they were told. I don't know. I haven't been told that myself. Okay. So it just depends what you hear. Some people say you can get different exchange rate. I'm told everybody's going to exchange at the same time and everybody will have the same exchange rate and that it's a simple exchange. What if child support gets a person's taxes? Taxes will be done away with. The only tax we will have is a tax on big ticket items. IRS taxes, all taxes from what I understand and overstand will be done away with once it's announced that our republic has been restored. Child support also will be done away with because it's unconstitutional. Okay. Yes, we're very, very close to this exchange. I would imagine it would be returned much like your tax return. Yes, everything you've been paid. Oh, is that what you're asking? In taxes, what you paid out to child support, what you paid in rent, what you paid in your mortgage, all of these loans because they were nefarious, unconstitutional. All that money will be returned back to you. And that's why we're having Nasara and Dasara to compensate us for all of these unlawful practices like child support, like taxes, like income taxes, like you weren't even supposed to be paying mortgage. Chief Mack can come back on and talk to us about that because you had a trust that was supposed to offset any of your debts. So all the money is supposed to come back to you. Yep, like a stimulus check, Lady L says. Chief Mack says generational curses are about to be broken, guys. Absolutely. Elon Musk and President Trump just did an interview and they reported from the Oval Office. Ooh, if you have details on that, let us know. If not, we'll come back and talk about it tomorrow. Where does that money go? Get returned to the taxpayer. Where does the money that gets returned to the taxpayers go? Does it go to you? It's supposed to come back to we the people. I don't know if it'll come back through Nasara. Do through that way and disseminate that money that way, or if it will go directly into our quantum financial accounts. It sounds like it will go through a vehicle, and then that money will be dispersed through Nasara into our quantum accounts, which everyone has, by the way. So you don't have to sign up for a quantum account. Everyone already has one. Vietnam has been a good economy ever since the war ended there. Thank you, Don. Wow. You got to shovel snow. Venezuela is selling out. Metro, hey, that's my homie. Hey, darling, from Cleveland, Ohio. You be sending me some good information. I appreciate you. I love you so much for the intel that you send me. I didn't know they were selling out Venezuela. What they're selling out on the Bolivar, Metroid. Is that right? Wow. It's going to be at the same time, AQD. I think all the exchanges are going to happen at the same time. But some people say there are different baskets. The first basket has some currencies that will exchange on, and then there'll be other baskets, what I'm hearing. Metroid says, I'm here. Good to see you. Jason has Zim. Which note should you get? 2008, 2009 year. I think that's the only thing they have out anyway. And you want to make sure it's the AA or AB series. I'm glad you have Zim. Excellent information, Jason says. All right. Thank you. Yes, I was going to upload it on Rumble. Is it on Rumble? I think on one hand, it looks like I'm having problems on Rumble. On the other hand, it looks like I'm live. Oh, you know what? It looks like I might have had problems on Rumble. Wow. Yes, I will reload whatever they missed on the Rumble. Can y'all still hear me on Rumble, family? If you can you let me know? Because I can see the chat. We're answering questions. Let me look at our Instagram family. See what you guys are saying. Are you guys still here on Instagram? Yep. Somebody put my YouTube live in there. Thank you. Bonds are moving to Zurich, someone said. Thank you. Let's see. So Patrick, what you sent me? Oh, wow. Thanks, Pat. I mean, Metroid says Venezuela daily digitales out of stock. Ooh, listen, family, we are there. We are at the precipice. I showed you the news. I said I would do a summary. Okay, so anybody just now joining the chat, give me 1 second. This is Zim information. I'm sending, Metroid, I'm sending what you just text me to my email so I can show the family. Thank you. The gold standard. Yes, the gold standard is coming. They're saying on Instagram. I agree. Okay, let me check this email for you all. Chief Mack, somebody said that she met you this week and she said you have wonderful energy. Let us know if you have time, if you want to come on and address questions, Chief Mack, about how to live in the private. If you want to come on and talk about that, because we're going to move into an era where we don't want people to know we got our new wealth, right? I will send you a link. Iraq get electric of its own. Oh, they got electric of their own? Thank you, Don. So look at this, family. This is what Metroid just sent me. He's in the chat. This is my friend from Cleveland, Ohio. Look at this. This was what I wonder what dealership that is. I don't know what dealership that. Numismatica, out of stock. He was looking at Venezuelan digitales. It says, we're sorry, but this item is out of stock and cannot be purchased now. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So that'd be a good note to actually go ahead and do a summary on. Let me see. Hold on, family. Let's do a quick summary, if you all don't mind, for those of you that just getting home maybe or just getting on the live. I've had people say, you need to go 45 minutes, Pruitt, and I hear them. Or you need to go less than an hour, because sometimes y'all know I'm long-winded. But then if I go too short, then, people will have questions and I'm not able to answer all your questions. So we won't be on too much longer. I'm only staying on longer because when I asked you guys, should I, you said, yes, I should stay on longer. Okay, I sent you a link, Chief Mack. He said I can get on right quick. Can I explain BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are a conglomerate of nations, a bloc that decided years ago that they would do whatever it took to get away from the grasp of the United States Incorporated. So they secretively formed their union to do that. People knew about the BRICS bloc, but they didn't know why they had formed. Well, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa followed the lead of Vladimir Putin, who is the president of Russia. When Vladimir Putin went to Ukraine to expose all of the nefarious activities going on there, all the corruption, all the laundering and all of that, some of that information went to James Comer, who is the chair of the House Oversight Committee here in America, and he gathered a lot of information against Joe Biden and the Biden crime family. You can go to oversight.house.gov, then in the search bar, type Biden, and you'll see all of the information against Biden. So once Putin went and cleaned out the deep underground military bases, exposed all that foolishness going on, then Biden put sanctions on Putin, and then Putin stopped trading with the dollar, and he inspired Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa to do the same. They all stopped trading with the dollar, repatriated their gold back to them, and started using their own currency, their local currency, for exchange to get oil and to do a business, period. And then BRICS tapped on the shoulders of other nations, or other people could apply to join that bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, so that they can form an alliance to gather together, unify, because there are strength in numbers, to stop trading with the dollar, coalesce against the United States Incorporated, or team up against them by saying, you can't have any more power or control over us, because now we're using our own local currency backed by gold, silver, and other precious metals to do business. So that's why they were created. Now that Indonesia and Vietnam have joined, how can that affect the exchanges? Now that they've joined the BRICS bloc and they've repatriated their gold to them, now they are unified. Now there's an alliance there. Nobody can come against them. It'll be very hard because BRICS is actually stronger than those 5 nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Now you have Vietnam, you have Indonesia, and you have actually more than 85% of the global population that have joined BRICS. And you have the Shanghai Corporation. That's the whole world that have coalesced against the United States Incorporated, using their own currency backed by gold, silver, palladium, and platinum to now back their currency. Now they have gold. They can use their currency for trade. And now they have the power, the military might to make sure they do that. And they have the gold to back their currencies. Now that they have gold to back their currencies, they have an alliance, they have a military might and power. Now the United States Incorporated doesn't have any power against them. So the currency exchange is inevitable. It's about to happen. And that's why I've shown you different articles and different things where people are saying they talked to their wealth manager last week and which said that they got a letter from the government, from the Trump administration, saying they were ready for a massive change of the financial system. The whole world is ready. I see you, Chief Mack. I'm coming, darling. So you see this here? Talking to the wealth management. They got a letter from the Trump administration saying there's a massive change coming to the financial system and an influx of foreign currency exchanges. And he's a vice president of a wealth management center. We also showed you articles that talked about the United States of America, people in power actually meeting about digital assets. Other people showed us by tweets or by way of messages that their different foreign currency exchange centers or dealers are telling them they're running out of stock. One more thing, darling. One more thing I want to show the family. One person said here on Twitter, they got an update. Important update on your dinar. We hope this message finds you well. We want to thank you and keep you informed about the status of your order. Due to the recent revaluation news, we're currently on red alert. And as a result, there's a slight delay in shipping. Please rest assured that our team is working diligently to have all orders shipped by Friday. This delay is actually in your best interest. If a revaluation occurs in the meantime, we'll provide you with the option to either receive a hand delivery or adjust your order based on a new valuation. We believe this approach assures the best outcome for you. We sincerely appreciate your patience and understanding during this time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist you. We are on the precipice of change. Welcome, Chief Mack, to the show. Hi, Chief Mack. It's good to see you.
Greetings. Good to see you, Dr. Key. Always good to see you.
Good to see you, darling.
I'm currently getting myself pampered right now. I think we all need to do that. But it's just an exciting time to be alive. I got word, guys. I got word that they're expecting all mortgages, car loans, credit card, and student loans, guys, will all be wiped away. Can you believe that?
That's awesome.
I got word that the whole world was under bondage, guys. We have been turned into debtors, and then debtors mean that you're unalive. And unalive people are dangerous. We were short patient, and they made us turn against each other. So just move with high vibrations and love and honor. Those are the highest frequencies. Be authentic. It's a spiritual movement taking place. The rule and reign just coming over the earth. And it's the ancestors that have come down here to make sure this is done, because it can't be done but with us alone. It's a force behind it. But I got word that massive change is happening. Even to the point, guys, of the banks have been fractionalizing our deposits. And they have been making tons of money. It's been said that the banks are going to have to give money back. When you put $10,000 in the bank, and they turn around and they fractionalize it and turn that 10,000 into 100,000, because fiat currency was never meant to be spent because it's debt notes.
Mm.
So so what we're going to have the ability to do with the Iraqi dinars first is what the banks have been doing. And you see the turnaround that we would get on the Iraqi dinars. Let's say if you got $1 million worth of Iraqi dinars, and let's say that million can easily turn to, let's say, modestly speaking, we can say 6 to 7 million.
Mm.
So the banks were doing that on our deposits. It didn't give us any cuts of that because we had an unalive account, which any account that's opened up with your social and all cap name doesn't belong to you. It's
Mm.
theirs. That's why they can seize money from you. So I'm telling everybody, there's some things that I hadn't said because I want to make sure that the people that I'm talking to, if I bring this up to about, are you spiritually mature? Are you
Mm.
emotionally sound? Because
Mm.
with this type of wealth, is going to come a lot of discipline. Because if the wrong person mess around and get these type of funds, you're gonna take your own self up out of here. It's a certain way you have to move and respond. Because I'm gonna tell you this right this much, guys. Be prepared. When you get these funds, just know that you will be being you'll be watched.
Mm.
Because this kind of money in the wrong hands, somebody who smokes weed, drink, and out there chasing women, you can't do that. That's why I'm disciplined now. I carry myself as if I have it already. And you got to carry yourself like this. Speak high vibrations over yourself, guys. Speak your manifestation and know that it's going to happen and don't believe it. Let me tell you, I'm not going to go into detail. I just went to my private post office box and I got a letter back from the Treasury. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm. What?
Just,
You didn't tell me. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but and it was
Okay.
funny. It was funny because when I got that letter back, I got a packet. I got when I show you, I'm gonna show you, and you're gonna laugh. And it's really funny how this happened. Like at the same time, I got this letter from the Treasury back, registered mail. I had ordered some. I had ordered some this money, like fake money. I ordered it just to have it. But when I went to the Treasury and I checked it, it was funny. I got a packet. I'm like, what's this big block? What is this right here? I open it up and it's this, and I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna post. It's about a million some dollars of this United States money, all in hundreds.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I said that's really nice. It's real funny how the Great Spirit works, man. But guys, I have an overall good feeling about what's going to happen. A lot of us are being put in position to be the saving salvation of our family, guys. Don't let anybody gaslight you, guys. Stay righteous. You know, stay happy, stay motivated because the enemy's going to send people with monitoring spirits to try to rain on
Mm.
your parade right now because it's a spiritual movement going on right now. And you got to be
It is.
understand that. You're going to have people seeing you happy, smiling from the inside out, and they're not
Yeah.
going to like that. So,
Mm.
Dr. Kia, I just want to say we really appreciate you, man, with the financial forecast that you've given us to make some intelligent decisions, man. That's going to set us for life, man. We really got to be able to bless this sister with as much as we can because we wouldn't be in position right now if it wasn't for her. So she's really
Thank you
there's
too.
there's nobody really doing what you're doing. There's nobody,
Thank
and
you
you really
too.
and you're kind of doing it for free. So we got to make sure we take. That's why I make sure I look out for the sister, man.
You do.
Any
You
chance I
take good
get,
care.
I make sure I do it because what she's doing is so next. I do that because not so much because of me, but there are people who come across you that we can share, that we need to be giving you to them, and open them up to it. And it's just an honor. And it's just an honor. This is so serious, guys. I'm gonna tell y'all how serious this is right here.
Okay.
This is so. Hey, no change, man. Keep it. Yeah, give it to her. Thank you, sir. You want a copy? No. Thank you. Have good, man. Day. Okay, thank you. Okay.
You're
Thank you
so
so
good.
much. Look, if you want something, you got to give something. Don't come
Yes, sir.
empty-handed. It's a give and get, and that's something
Mm.
that we have to learn. You can't go to anybody empty-handed. Just yesterday, I was at Lenox Mall, and I saw these two guys at the table sitting down. They were homeless, and they
Mm-hmm.
had a chessboard in front of them, and that was like marketing. It was to
Uh-huh.
draw somebody in to play chess and then have a conversation with. Just having a conversation means a lot to people who are on the street sleeping. So I said, I'm gonna sit down and talk with these guys. So I was talking for about 15 minutes. I said, look, man, get y'all some food. Get you what you want. It's on me. Don't worry about it. Get it. Get you some fruit. Get you a meal. They was so happy. We sat down and we talked. We talked for about an hour, and I poured into those brothers.
Wow.
I poured into them, and I got their telephone numbers, and I said, y'all gonna be up there. I said, it won't be too much long when you guys are on the street. I took their numbers down, and see, and these are the things that I do. I do so much more off of social media than I do on it. And then
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be careful. There are people who get angry and jealous at folks and think life is just so easy for us, and they don't understand your spiritual walk, your spiritual ranking. They don't understand it. They get jealous and they get mad, but you got to be careful. What you're doing is same is going to ring bells really, really soon. There's a lot of people that respect you, laugh at you, talk behind your back like that. They're going to be. We come. We're coming into a season where the naysayers are going to be baffled.
Mm.
That
Yes,
goes.
sir.
They're going to be baffled. So let's continue to build each other, lift each other, inspire, motivate each other, man. Let's continue to do that, man, because there's an unmatched. I'm just hearing things. 'Cause I got friends all over the whole world. I mean, Canada, Alaska, Australia, the Virgin Islands, all over the U.S. So I'm a very resourceful man because I hear things and I get people to bounce information off each other. So it won't be long until you're not even supposed to have a mortgage, and that's the reason why they name it a mortgage.
Mm.
That's a death sentence.
Wow.
It's a death sentence. You're not
That's
even
it.
never supposed to be dealing with the bank in the capacity that we're dealing with the banks because you're dealing with the banks as a debtor.
Mm.
And then you're dealing with the bank in a capacity where every time you go and open up a bank account, it never closes, even though they close it on the public side. It's always open on the private side because it's a security that they're robbing from. Your police ticket is a security. Even though you pay it off, it's still open up because their ticket has a barcode on it. They still trading it, guys. We get
Um,
rent. That's why I said, well, as much as I know, I can't do any evil. I know too much, man.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To do evil to somebody or do injustice to anybody with as much as I know. And that's why I see why people are having short lives because they're stressed. They're
Mm-hmm.
about to pay Paul. That your life is on rush when you need to be on cruise control. So right now, I'm on cruise control. I'll be 54 pretty soon. Save the compliments. I think the Great Spirit, I don't feel like it or look like it, but I'm on cruise control from here on out. When we get our monies, let's work on our health. They got these med beds, the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Get out there and walk and move your body. Stop eating like a peasant and eat like you're royalty. Stop putting anything down your throat. Stop staying away from the greasy foods, sugary foods, too many carbs. Because I sit back and I've been watching the rich and the wealthy here in Atlanta for the past 2.5, 3 years. I've been watching them really, really closely, and I see how they live their life. I see how. So, guys, we're about to be wealthy. Don't try to act like it when you get it. Act like you're a royalty right now, like you know who you are and what you are. So when you get it, it's not too much going to change. That's the way I act. That I don't hang around a lot of people. Because I don't think like a lot of people. I don't do the things a lot of people do. I understand that I have an inheritance. I have 6 sisters and 7 brothers, and I am the only one that's doing it to the capacity that I'm doing it because I have been mandated by our holy ancestors in the Most High, the Great Spirit, to do what it is I'm doing. I don't care what nobody got to say about me or what you do. You're not going to stop the force that's behind me and in front of me to push forward, guys. So a lot of you guys are like that. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. We are the new wealth leaders of the world to bring righteousness up on the earth. It's not about me, me, me. It's about you got your foundation. Having that foundation, the 508c18 irrevocable private trust is a foundation in a ministry so that it can be funded. Foundations are set up to be funded. So if you have that foundation set up, that's there's a lot of good things that's going to happen, guys.
And I'm gonna put up your information, Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com for anybody that wants information about this foundation. And it's a 508c1A. I said 508c3. It's 508c1A.
Yeah, C1A.
Okay.
And people just found out about this particular trust about 2.5 or 3 years ago because this is the trust that the rich and the wealthy, when they said they had their foundation, they didn't
Yeah.
have no 501 or 503. They were talking about that 508
Wow.
because it can't be taxed. It's
Put
out of
in
the
the chat.
jurisdiction. It's out of the jurisdiction.
Well, can I say one more thing, Chief? I want you to keep going. I want to say you talked about how people were about to have a debt jubilee or something like that. I did a report on that just, I want to say a couple of days ago. I'm going to be real quick. I just want to show people this here. It's called Breaking Jubilee Incoming. In that report, I talk about how debt collectors were told to stand down. This is like to coincide with what you're saying. And not only were they told to stand down, but in that report, Chief, that I did, people came underneath that particular that particular podcast, and they were telling me that they got letters saying that certain debts were discharged, were just paid off.
That's true because of a young lady that I went to from my hometown had reached out to me and said that she had a high balance credit card. This was two
Mm,
weeks ago, and said
okay.
they were giving her flack about it, and she said she got a letter in the mail saying that it's been discharged and wiped away. This is crazy. With many people I know, and I know that that
Here's the
the
video, right?
the
Excuse
bank.
me. Here's the video right here on my YouTube channel on the video section, not the live, but the video section is this one right here. Okay, go ahead, Chief.
And just be prepared, guys. You just gotta stay healthy and stay positive. Just be prepared real soon. They don't want to hit the public all at once. They're trying to ease it on out there. Things are already in progress and set up already. They're just trying to ease it on out there because there are some people as, that don't even know anything about this. You think a lot of people may know about this, but there are some people so indoctrinated that they like a rat in a wheel spinning around. They go to work, they eat lunch, work, they rush into work, they rushing home, they in a rush to do nothing. Rushing home, they that job got them like robots. And they don't want to hear nothing else because if it ain't broke, they don't think they need to fix it. You know. We don't supposed to be working any job because the job, the money you're getting paid is coming out there hidden trust account. You working for free. That's slavery because the slavery that they push on us, so-called Black history, that never happened. That's a psyop, it's a hoax. It never happened like that, at all. Now we're supposed to be working job. You're not supposed to be paying bills, and fiat currency don't pay bills at all. The Treasury is our bank with that account set up with the Treasury, and if you have yourself set up in the right capacity, the Treasury you're supposed to be able to offset bills and pay yourself to the Treasury. That's what they don't want you to know. And trust. This is what the rich are doing. This is why they pay so much for have a trust account. Because the trust is there for you to recoup funds. They don't want you to know that. They don't. So they live so easy, so carefree because they don't know what a bill is. They don't know what a mortgage is. They don't know what the hustle and bustle is. And when people live like that, you're on the edge. You're
Mm.
on the edge. So we're going to be able to help people out, guys. When we get funded, there's going to be a situation where I'm going to set up something where we can do a meet and greet.
Oh, good. Somebody just asked that, Chief. I was just waiting for the right time to ask you. It says, Chief Mack, are you available in Atlanta to meet up with ones in frequency? This person is in Alpharetta. Omni Powers wants to know.
Before I meet up with anybody, I got to check them out because I don't want to have to put my hands around nobody's neck. I'm just not trying to meet up with any and everybody. You
Yes.
got to know people's intention and understand that, guys. I'm not trying to meet up with any and everybody. I have several hundreds of people that I've talked to on the phone, and I have to feel a person. I have a great discernment, and I talk to people, and I weigh things out, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that who I can talk to, who I can trust, because I have a discernment spirit, and I'm divinely guided, shielded, and protected. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm not just trying to just okay, let's meet up. No, I'm not trying to do that right there. I'll
Not
talk to you.
yet.
I will make that decision whether I want to do that or not. Not you. So I'm not trying to meet up with it. I tell Dr. Kia, she's not trying to meet up with anybody. She's a woman. We have to protect her, and we're not trying to befriend just everybody right now. When you get your funds, and you know that once you have something to lose, that that'll make people act right. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, you get these funds and you're out there acting a fool and a clown, then you're setting yourself up to be sued and that money taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why the rich, they carry themselves in a particular capacity. They're not easily angered because they understand that if I don't control myself, then I'm gonna be hurt. There's an inheritance that's for my family. So I gotta stay calm, emotionally sound, spiritually grounded, because I know that if I make one wrong mistake, I could be jeopardizing my family that are in trust as beneficiaries. So when we're talk, if you want to talk, that's a consultation because I have clientele that I talk to just about every other day, and I have to make sure they're taken care of. But if you want to talk, I'm a very resourceful guy, not the smartest guy, but with me and Dr. Kia linked up together like that, between she and I, we push each other, we inspire each other, and we're making decisions that's going to really help us out where we could be beneficial to each other. She's been
Yes, sir.
definitely beneficial to me, and I've been beneficial to her.
You taking care of me.
It's all, it's all good. That's just I'm only doing what you put into me.
Thank
That's all.
you.
It's only right that I do that. I'm only doing what you put into me, and you're getting that back and more.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Chief, thank you. I appreciate you being a covering for me, giving me, security, emotionally, mental, and financial security. And you just ensuring my well-being all the way around. I'm just very grateful for you.
thank you,
Uh,
thank
you're welcome. And I want to bring up something you were talking about with these debt discharges. Debt collectors have been told to stand down, and as this relates to that, I have a banned debt collectors list. This was put out by the Federal Trade Commission. This list has several different entities, persons by name, and or companies that were collecting debt that the Federal Trade Commission said have to cease and desist. This is just a small list that I have here from A through Z. I mean, it's kind of long, but it's not all of them.
you. You
So
know what
I
I'm
would.
thinking? You know what I'm thinking, Doctor Care. You
What's that,
know
Don?
when I'm out in the car and I see these tow trucks snatching up people's cars, that's stealing. So anybody
Yes.
that got your car taken away and snatched up after the car's been paid for already out of your trust, but they need to be sued.
Mm,
Yeah, there have been people that have gone in the store with their babies and left all their food and stuff in the car, and you got these tow trucks coming out there bobbing and weaving in traffic in these mall parking lots, in the grocery store parking lots, at the gym, and while you're in that working out or shopping at the store or the mall, you got these records, these trucks bobbing and weaving out of traffic, scanning your license and snatching your cars up. I
mm,
just so if you for anybody that hear me, if you hadn't made your car payment, just be mindful where you go. You may
mm.
want to back your car in, other than just back it with a light you can see, back it in. But just be
Right.
mindful to know that if you go out there and you just end it, you might want to leave somebody in there with the car running. So because these people, they're scavenging, they're snatching up people's cars and trucks, man, and that's stealing because the
Mm.
car's been paid for already. So these banks that have allowed that to happen, they need to be sued, put people in
I
hardship. Yeah.
hold on 1 minute, Chief. Excuse me for interrupting. May I speak for a second?
Yes, you may go. Yes, you may go.
Okay. So, Chief, this is my girl. This is my good friend. Is this Stacy? Stacy says hi. It's Stacy in Louisville. This is one of look. I have a group of like four girlfriends in Louisville, Kentucky, where I raised my children. I believe that's Stacy age from Louisville. Yes. We meet and we bond and we talk about life things. We haven't been since I've been able to, since I've left there. We have bonfires. We talk about things. We cry on each other's shoulders, and we eat out together. Like, I love these four. I don't have anybody, that many other people I trust outside of these four women, as it relates to women. But
Right.
she says, "This is Stacy from Louisville. Tell Chief I'm legitimate. I met him in Atlanta this weekend." Stacy, you did not tell me, girl. You should have called me. She sent me a donation for $5. Thank you, sister. I love you so much. We got to connect, girl. I can't believe you didn't tell me. Isn't he wonderful? He's amazing. He's a good man. Got good energy, good spirit. He's a man of integrity. Really, has a lot of discipline. Very, very disciplined. Very wise. Very intelligent. He's amazing. So she wanted to give you a shout out, let you know she met you.
It's just a small world. I tell you, man, small world.
Yes.
Stacy came over there by me, ear hustling. I had on a nice green outfit. She came in and snuck a picture of me. Who this lady is right here, man? Don't sit up, nigga. She had on green, I had on green. She gonna take a snapshot of me of the picture. I said, I like you had that bit right there.
Oh my God.
But I was talking to Stacy about trust and getting things set up, and she was like, just really concerned. I said it's gonna be okay. So it's just a small world, man. It's a small
Really
world, man.
is.
Wow,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Wow. Like we're really tight. Like I had a group of like two girlfriends, and they introduced me to Stacy. So she came, they all knew Stacy. So I didn't meet her until like a couple of years ago. But that other group I've been in touch for a long time. But Stacy is amazing. Look like I lost you, Chief. Hope you're still there. I'll send you another link just in case. Let me see. Family, we had Chief Mack here on the set, on the live. Let me send, if I can send him another link. Unity. So I was just saying how Stacy's a good friend of mine. She is a nurse, and she was in the military. She is such a wonderful person that we have entrepreneurs in our city of Louisville, Kentucky, that make good money. I mean, like millions. They make good money. These people have befriended Stacy because she's just such a good soul, a good person, a good woman. And so she knows entrepreneurs from the highest level all the way down to people in the hood. She's just an amazing, overall beautiful woman. So I'm so glad that she got to meet Chief Mack. Chief, I sent you a new link. Oh, Delgado Short says, Miss Kia, did my mama send you that voodoo video? My name is Bambi and it's real. It was in New Orleans. It's evil. It's my birthday today. Shout me out. I'm rich. Hey, Delgado Short. Yes, your mommy sent me the video of the woman doing voodoo on one of those a chief player. There was a woman family who had a doll. She was sticking pins in one of the Chiefs players, a number 14. And this young lady gave it to her mom, and her mom, she said, get this to Miss Kia. Miss Kia, she gave it to me, and I put it on my YouTube channel because I thought it was crazy. I was like, have we gotten to this where people are doing voodoo in order to try to win games? So I'm going to briefly show that to you. And happy birthday, Delgado Short. I'm so happy you tuned in. God bless you. We have children. We have teenagers. So I have to always make sure I only use proper language, that watch the show, that some of them have awakened their parents. I've gotten new nieces, internet nieces, that watch the show, Chief, and they have shared the information that we give with their parents and enlighten their parents to what's going on with the currency revaluation, what's going on geopolitically. And, it's just amazing. So let me show you this right quick, Chief. Look at this foolishness. That's a doll right there. The woman That's at the game, the Chiefs against the Eagles. She's got this doll, so number 15, and she's sticking a pin in it. So some people, some people like, what do you expect, Pruitt? That was New Orleans. I was like, oh, okay. I said, oh my gosh. But the young lady Delgado found that on the internet and she told her mom to send it to me. So thank you, baby, for joining the show. Tell your mommy I appreciate her. She said, thank you. Yes, have a fabulous birthday and may the Creator bless you with many, many more. May it be wonderful and enjoyable. And may you have prosperity and wealth and all your dreams come true, Delgado. Family, if you have an opportunity, yes, can you send happy birthday vibes to Delgado? She's a young lady who's been watching our show along with her mom. There you go, darling. Oh, somebody asked, can Sin Melbourne say, can you do a meet and greet that's held in a central location I can drive to? I don't think I want to fly anytime soon. Are you talking about Chief Mack, Sin? He said he may do something with some type of meet and greet, but it will have to be on his his time. Yeah, there was somebody stabbing a black voodoo doll, a person classified as black. Everybody's telling you happy birthday, Delgado. Yes, Sin wants to know if you can do a public meet and greet. I don't know what it would, what you would do one about. Maybe you're educating the people, doing a seminar. I don't know, Chief.
Yeah. We'll work on that. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Private zone.
Oh, that would be fun.
Private zone.
I'll be there if you do it.
Yes, private.
They're all saying happy birthday. Somebody says I would love real guidance on how to discharge my debts since a sister messed me up. I'm not sure how to proceed. It's going to be discharged. They're discharging them currently right now, right?
Things are happening, things are happening, but when it still move as if things are not happening.
Okay.
Just don't give up and just stop doing things that still work until the green light opens for you. But just don't just give up.
Okay.
Don't just stop paying bills.
Don't
just stop paying bills and anything like that. Still pay them until everything is set up.
Is there a way do you offer help in that area or no?
I mean, I would have to have consultation. I don't just talk about that kind of. I don't like to say discharge. I like to say offset.
Okay.
Offset. Discharge is mean like you just getting something for free. Just get something for free. Nothing's got for free. It's even gonna be paid from your trust. That's how things are paid with the real money backed by gold. But nothing's just discharge. You just buy something and just wipe it. It don't mean that. It just means offset. I'd rather say offset because it's going to get paid. It's just going to come out that it was supposed to be an obligation of the government, but people who are unalive don't get bills paid. People who are alive, and you set yourself up in the capacity that's showing that you're alive, and you let them know that you own that birth certificate, and so forth, like with a couple other things, then it can be handled.
So if they want to reach out to you for a consultation, they can reach you at this email, unityemotion45@yahoo.com.
Yes.
And then he'll let you know how much his consultation is, and then you guys can go from there.
So, but all I know is I'm happy.
What'd you say?
I'm happy from the inside out. I have a peace over me because when you have remedy, then you have a certain peace over you. You just try to stay away from low vibrational people and people that think they slick. You just stay away from these people, man. But I have a calmness and a peace over me, and don't let anybody destroy your calmness and your peace. But when you have understanding, clarity, and remedy, that's what life is all about. Yeah.
Chief, in confirmation of what you're saying about debts being discharged, JoJo Starbucks said, I had $4,000 discharged from my hospital bill, and I don't even know who did that. She said.
That should be the easy thing to get rid of, hospital bills, man, because you got other countries got free medical, and we over here paying. That's why America's #1 in sickness, because they're damaging the food, the air, and the water. We are #1 in people in prison, sickness, child support. I mean, everything derogatory. We're #1. To be honest, because this is the land of milk and honey, the land where they're milking. When they say milk, they milking the people.
What?
The people here are getting milked.
Wow.
Because this is the richest land on earth, because she's the oldest land on earth. That's why they call it Turtle Island, because the turtle is the oldest land animal known to man, and the oldest people that predates all people started here in the Americas, the Nianita people. That's why the majority of them are in the prison system, because they make the world go round. You know,
Yes.
because you go to prison, they actually kidnap people, take them to the federal warehouse, and then pull the money out your trust account to feed you 3 lousy meals a day and to pay room and board to stay in their federal warehouse that they get out your trust account because you're dead, you're unalive. So they take the real person, put them in there, and then pull money out that trust that belongs to you. But you can't do it because you didn't express who you are. So they're taking from you what belongs to you. And this is what makes the world go round. By they putting you out in the streets and got these people working on the streets for free labor and pulling from their trust account. It's a it's they that's just really stealing from us, to the point they bring the corporation, U.S. corporation, was bringing illegals over here and tearing them out of the land and the wealth from this land, and put them over people in America to make sure they keep us down and them up. So they set up shop. And they set up shop in America. They got gas stations, food, fish places, dry cleaners, you name it. They got it all. Hair salons. And really, their infiltration here in America. Now, all of that is about to go away. Trump has been the man spokesperson for deep states to end their world. It's the end of their world, not our world. It's the beginning of our world. And so all of these things are going to, whenever you be retired, man, it's just a beautiful time to be alive. I've been saying it's a beautiful time to be alive when you're connected with the right people and the source. I've been saying it for the past 3 years. And it's started, it's coming to fruition right now. It's coming to fruition. Yeah.
It is. And, it sounds like you're saying we're coming to a time where we'll be able to operate in our sovereignty, no longer being slaves or citizens sitting in sin. And as it relates to that, Love Being Nubian, who is our moderator, asks, she says, Chief, since we're sovereign, do we still have to do the authentication paperwork? Or is that something that needs to be?
If you ask me, somebody said, should I get my birth certificate authenticated on the state and the federal level? Some people say, oh, we don't need to do, we sovereign, we born, we got. I would say still get it. Because I know that once you become full of faith and credit, that's something amazing that happens that they don't want y'all to know. When you get that number on bond paper that says full faith and credit. Unless you have that number, you can't get your diplomatic passport unless you have that. You can't get that, because that authentication of your birth certificate with the state and federal has to go inside the packet and the application to get your diplomatic passport, because that's what puts you at a higher standard. That number there, that special number at the top, is a very powerful number. So I would tell somebody, no, you don't need to get that, or we sovereign. No. I'd rather have things set up and not need it than need it and not have it, man. I keep on telling people that,
You do.
Yeah. So
in some states, they don't even do short form birth certificates anymore. They do long form now.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Somebody had another question for you, Chief. Mrs. Woodtown from Texas. Hi, Mrs. Woodtown. Thank you for always and often being here with us. She says, Chief, I reached out to you today about the trust. So she wants you to know that. She sent you an email.
Okay.
And anybody that wants to Send him an email. Remember, it's Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com. Now, I put it in the chat for you, family. Let's see, what else have we? 45 years. I saw something else. Somebody was saying they had money discharged. Some people are testifying, Chief, and confirming what you said about debts being discharged.
Beautiful. And if they've been discharged, then the banks owe you. They're gonna have to pay you back if they fractionalize it. When you go there and that mortgage contract, their car contract, or the credit card contract are not contracts, they're trust, guys. These are trust documents. They're irrevocable trust. If you've read for the fine comb, and you read, you'll see an irrevocable trust. It's what you're signing. And so you didn't express who you are in that trust, so they make themselves the grantor. All grantors benefit from the trust. So they don't even care if whether you make the payment or not. It's a security. They securitize it. Everything is a security. Your license are worth millions of dollars. That's why it has a barcode on it.
Wow.
Every time you go and get a license, and people don't even realize when you get a license, you're actually filling out a form that you're a CDL driver, because it's asking you how much your weight are you going to be pulling. So to drive means that you got to get paid. You're in commerce, so you don't need to drive. You can travel in your vehicle freely because you're not making money. If you go and get your license, you're going to see that you actually applying for like you driving a CDL. And they actually, you get your license, they actually go in there and pull like a $1.5 million or $3 million out of your trust to get each time you apply for a license. It's a wicked world, man. Wicked.
You have another question?
They don't want to give me a license because about almost a year ago, the first time I tried to do it about a couple of years ago, the lady, she called me because you can sign your name.
Oh no. Ellen Mooney says she can't hear Chief. Can you guys hear Chief? Let me know in the chat if you can hear. No, Marcio, it's not Unity and Motion 45. It's Unity in Motion, I-N. Unity in Motion. I forgot to put 45. Sorry about that. UNITY 45. Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com. I'm glad we looked that up again. Chief is back.
Yeah, I had somebody had called me. Well, listen, I signed the license with my beneficiary name. The first time I did that, the lady said, we can't sign. You can't tell me how to sign my name, Missy. So the second time I went up there, I got all dressed up, had my hair cut, smelled like berries, smile on the lady face. She was too dizzy to realize that I signed my beneficiary name. I got a pass. I was like, hey, how you doing that? She was dizzy. I got a pass. Listen.
You gotta use
I was waiting for so long, and it's been about 5 months. They still hadn't sent me a license because they know that I signed it with that beneficiary name, which means they can't capitalize off of me. They know I know. It's a certain way you sign your name saying that you are the beneficiary. Because I know what that license, it's a security. It's just a huge giant insurance policy, a security. Your license. And I think I heard somebody say Trump said that we may not even need licenses.
I heard that too. It might have been you. Somebody told me that. I was like, what? I was like, he's right.
See, when Trump talks, now that I understand the private sector, he's really talking to the people in the private.
Oh, that's why everyday people don't understand him and they think he's crazy. He's speaking, mumble jumble because he's not talking. He's not talking to everybody.
He's not talking to unalive people. He's talking to alive people.
Wow.
And so people who are alive say, oh, he's talking about trust. Because he said something about the 508c18 irrevocable trust. He said something about that trust. Pull it up.
Wow.
He said something about it. So he's talking to people in the private sector. So most of the people here, we're moving toward having a private sector mentality, which means that a living mindset versus a dead mindset, which means a private versus public. Oil and water just don't mix. It don't
Oh
mix.
my God. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So it's just it's beautiful, man. When you understand a certain, they never thought that there are enough of us waking up to the point where they wasn't prepared for it. There are more people operating in trust than they could have ever imagined or expected, and it's just shaking the system up. It was a beautiful thing. They never thought that the sleeping giants would wake up, that those dry bones would come together.
Never.
They never thought that, and they're scrambling and trying to do everything that they can do to maintain their kingdom, but it can't last because it was written that it ends now. And then we want to be the new bankers and rulers of the earth. So it's a major responsibility, but I'm up for the task. I'm up.
Thank you
So I give
so
you guys,
much for the.
yeah. So I want to give you guys a round of applause. I don't want to be too long winded because you and I both can be long winded, Dr. Kia. I just say I just love everybody. I just want everybody to live their most amazing lives, be happy. It's contagious when you're happy. It takes less energy to be happy, and it takes a whole bunch of energy to be negative, low down, and bow. To smile, you use less muscles to smile, and you use a lot more muscles to frown.
I'm looking at Stacy sent me the picture she snapped of you and her. You could tell she's. I told her I love it. You could tell that she you're in the background, like she just put the camera like where you probably maybe didn't even see it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's so beautiful. She said, tell him he was not being snug. Or you weren't being snuck. She said you smiled for it.
Yeah, I want spouse. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to show it. I don't know if she want me to show it or not, but I just
No, yeah, I just want you.
it's beautiful. Yeah, y'all both had on green. You got just a couple questions, Chief, if you have time.
Okay, go ahead.
What about property taxes? Will we have to pay property taxes for homeowners? OmniPower asks.
If you have yourself set up in the right capacity, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes. The taxes going to the IRS. A person can have themselves set up a certain way where they shouldn't have to do that. So I know I wouldn't have to pay no property tax because I have myself set up in a certain capacity. The
And
IRS,
go ahead.
the IRS understands there are paperwork for the private with the IRS, and there's paperwork for the public with the IRS, but they don't tell you that. Yep.
Thank you. And also, JoJo says, my husband has a French birth certificate because he was born there, but he became a legal United States citizen in 1973. Will he have to go back to France if Nasara happens? I don't think he will, since he is, has legal citizenship here. What do you think, Chief? I'm just guessing.
I don't think they would just force somebody like that. Like
I
you,
really
you
don't
mentioned
know.
earlier about earlier that they was giving $100,000 to people if they wanted to go back to somewhere. I think if that's the case, uh,
Oh,
the
that's
country,
true.
the countries will uh, to help their economy boom. They would have to g- put an incentive out there for their people to come back if they want to come back.
If they want to,
They want
that
to come
makes
back.
sense.
If they did things the legal way to get here, just like they're offering $100, 100,000, because each person that come back, that's going to help boom their economy. So that's why countries are doing that now. They don't have to just be here in America right now because every country is going to the gold standard. So they're not itching to come here. They're going to try to get their people back over there.
Okay.
That's the way things are looking.
Okay. Um, Let me see. Here's another question. Marcia says, it's true. I think it says stole my birth certificate and my daughter American birth certificate plus black magic, Luciferian voodoo, etc. because they stole my family inheritance. I'm not quite sure what she. Thank you for sending that. Somebody says that I think she's talking about your consultation price is very small. And Zuri,
No,
she said,
no, the consult. But when I said the $50 consultation, that's for folks who are going to get a trust.
okay.
That means I'm just explaining to you. If you call about the trust, I'm gonna just give you the baseline information. Now, if you
Okay.
keep calling just for consultation, that I have a website that it's more than $50. Because I got some people on the phone, they get you on there and they camp out for 3-4 hours, and if I don't mention anything, if I let's say I offer a particular service, and then you talk to me about trust and you ask me about a whole bunch of other things like that, that's not fair to me.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
offer a service that I'll do the work for you, not send you templates. And so you can make money, so you can do things because you don't understand what you're doing. I don't teach about what I'm doing. You don't ask an attorney, okay, could you do this job for me? And can you teach me what you do? And can you give me the literature that you do? That's just doing way too much, guys. No,
It is.
I
It
had a
is.
young man that asked me that. I don't do that. I put the work in for you. Then I explain to you what it is that you're getting and how to process it. When you go into the bank, you get your trust. I said you get it notarized. You get the foreign EIN number. The trust paperwork is a body without a soul. And what's going to give that body life? The foreign EIN number is the spirit. And when you take the spirit with that foreign EIN number and you put it with that paperwork, you got a brand new living soul. You can start a new identity and trust. You're living. You've been resurrected and born again at that point. And you open up an account with that in equity. Now, now you're equitable. It can be funded a particular way. I explain that to people when we go deep in conversation. But that's the purpose of a trust. Um, and when you do that, you open that up and you want a non-bearing interest account. You guys tell me that you want a non-bearing interest account, savings and checking. So I walk the people through the process because I did it myself. I got my trust opened up 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people weren't doing it, and the first bank told me no. And I went to the same bank in a more predominant area where baby boomers were, who live in these $5-10 million homes, and I got that type of treatment. And it's sad. You have to go on a different side of town than a side of town that predominantly certain people live on with a lower bracket. The same bank told me yes, with the same bank in a different area told me no.
Wow.
It's sad, it's just like it's profiling, sad, but I want, but I know no don't mean no all the time. It just mean not right now. I don't let no just
Yes,
discourage
sir.
you. You got to fight in life.
That's right.
You got to fight. You can't give up. You just got to keep on going and going and going. And so I found I've gotten paperwork recorded to the point that they treat me like an attorney at the Superior Court in Atlanta. I got those people number in my phone. I'm able to get certain people paperwork, pushed through, and that's just favor. It's favor.
One last question, Chief. Sister Wanda wants to know: will we receive our titles to our automobiles and deeds to the property?
I don't. You should. Let me tell y'all this. The title. Did you know that the title to your vehicle is a bond? That's
No.
bond paper.
Oh.
It's a security. The title to your vehicle is a security. Because I know how securities look. Your mind just explode with knowledge, man. When you see documents, man, everything's just different. So I don't see no reason why you should. They're gonna have to give it to you. Because all that is that is really illegal. Should be that. When we move to the gold standard, they're saying that everything is gonna become a government obligation. That's what they're saying. So mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and the credit bureau are all set up to rob people from their soul and their inheritance, and they about to get rid of all of that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I heard that today. I've been hearing it all week, but that's what's getting ready to happen, guys.
And so many people are struggling, Chief. We need this to happen right now. My sister Mimi says, I'm sleeping in my car. These folks with the sheriff just made me leave my home.
Wow. And I'm going to tell you something. Atlanta is tent city. I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to post it to my Facebook page, and I'm going to show you guys the amount of people who never thought they would be homeless. But they still working jobs. They just can't afford this high rent. They went up in the rent. They took the pay down, and you got people. It's tent city here in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's going to take us to come together. That's why they dumping it. They got so many houses and apartments that the people just dump, and they are empty and void. We can come in and snatch those up, and the people who are salvageable, we can put them in there, and we can create jobs. The purpose of getting our inheritance is so that we can create jobs for people. We can get Airbnbs, get homes, and then we can take these people that we take off the streets, and then we can have them work for us and give them hope, get their hair cut, train them all over again. This is what I told the two gentlemen yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to record these two gentlemen that I talked to yesterday. They're homeless. And I said, I don't feel sorry for you. I see you, my brother. You just down on your luck right now. So I don't feel sorry for you. I said, eat your meal, man. Give me your telephone number, and I'm going to do it live. And these guys are very articulate and smart.
Really?
Very articulate and smart. He knew something about the private sector. He was hitting the guys. I told you.
Wow.
And he said, man, let me tell you something, man. He said, man, you're definitely an angel on earth, man. He said, you about as real as they come, man. I don't care what nobody said, man. He said, man, to sit here and just talk to us, man, just to build us and lift us and inspire us the way you did. He said, man, ain't nothing nobody can tell me bad about you, man. And we need more people like that to build and lift people, But I'm going to do a live with these guys and talk to them. And I told them when I'm straight, I'm going to pull them. I'm pulling. And I meant that.
Some people are asking how to get in contact with you. I'm going to put it up again. It is unityemotion45@yahoo.com. Right? Unity Emotion 40. Yes. Send him an email. He will reach out to you. He's a very busy man, and a lot of people reach out to him. So make sure you do it soon. And you might send a second one just to follow up. But he will get to you. Our moderator, Love Being Nubian, says, Chief, is it a good idea to use equity from your home, or will it be better to continue with selling it?
Listen, guys, if you have any way to get any cash, guys, if you have a 401k, pull it. Because the money's coming out your trust. They're not giving you anything. Pull it. If you're able to get any equity out of your home, pull it. The banks may not even want you to do that because they already know what's going to happen. But if you can, pull that right there and get gold, silver, or foreign currency. Or you can get my services. I'll put you on. Pull it. You can. Pull it. Pull it. They just stole from you so long. And what you're pulling, it belongs to you anyway. It's coming out your damn trust, guys. Just know that. Everything. The government is not giving you anything. Food stamps, public assistance, all that's coming out your trust. They're not giving you anything. Period. Child support is coming out your trust. Your Social Security check, the payments are coming out your trust. Are you with me now?
Are they going to do away with child support, Chief? Is that unconstitutional?
Even if a person is paying child support, I know ways out of it. So I'll just say that much.
Okay. Yeah, there are ways out of it. And it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and they're not supposed to be accessing your Social Security number and all that without your knowledge. Like they're just the baby's other parent can just give them the Social Security number and they'll just steal from the trust.
The Social Security number, in the beginning, it wasn't even called a Social Security number. It was a credit card number. The numbers in the front are the routing numbers, and the number in red. Now the numbers in the front is your account number.
Okay.
Turn the card around and see the numbers in red. That is your routing number. It's your routing number. And then, how do you know which Federal Reserve Bank that you belong to? There's a letter on the back of that Social Security card that lets you know which Federal Reserve Bank that the all caps name belonged to, because it's not you. And there were people who knew these things, and this is how they were paying their bills.
Mm-hmm.
But now, when we start finding out about it, then they start trying to switch up things.
They did. They reversed the chart. They would, people were paying off, then they would reverse it, and then they even started locking some people up, Chief.
But because here's the thing, you shouldn't be trying to go a unalive entity shouldn't be going after funds that belong to an entity that's alive. You got to become alive and trust before you can do stuff like that.
Okay.
You can't be just a citizen, and trying to go after funds. So if you are a citizen, that means you are dead at sea. You can't do that. So they will come after you or make you pay it back if you're trying to pull money like that with your social, and they turn you to a corporation, which means that if you are a corporation, you are a corpse. And corpse don't supposed to be trying to spend money. How are you gonna be a corpse and trying to spend money? So that's why public and private don't mix. And anytime you go to the Treasury, you got to be private, not public. So obtaining a trust is a start. So many different factors of a trust that people don't understand. That's why they never thought that people would be operating in trust, because it's a lot of different moving parts to having a trust and having that foreign EIN number. Because now you equitable at that point. Yep.
The ladies, Nubian, love being Nubian. She's the one that asked about pulling equity out of her house. She said her house was paid for in 2012. She just wanted you to know that.
Okay. Well, I mean, if she's talking about going to get a second mortgage or something like that, if you need some funds, then if you have the capacity to pull some money, get a second mortgage. Let me tell you something. If you're getting a second mortgage, the money's not coming from the bank; it's coming from you.
Wow.
It's coming from you. So if you're able to get any type of funds or fiat to soften up the hardship that you're going through, if you got any 401k, pull it. Pull it. Right now, you need to get gold, silver, foreign currencies, and then you need to have some type of an account set up in trust. You want to do that. With some other things. If you have a way to pull some funds, go ahead and pull it, guys.
When you say put it in silver and gold or some type of asset, or invest in yourself some kind of way. Okay, let's see. How do you get Iraqi dinar, family? Can you tell Devin where he can get Iraqi dinar from? You can Google it, or you can go to an online company. Family, can you tell them the places? Safe Dinar, Treasury Vault.
I have a place that I order mine from. It's probably one of the cheapest ones that I got it. When I have but I got mine. I got mine within 6 days.
Oh wow! You can reach out to Chief and he'll tell you where to go to get yours within 6 days. Banknote World is another one. Safe Dinar. Chief has a personal contact as well. Yes, invest in yourself. Chief, if people want to send you a monetary blessing for sharing information with us tonight, can you tell us where we can send it?
If they feel the need, do that. It's Allen. Cash App is Allen Judah 47. That's ALLEN Judah JUDAH 47.
Okay. So thank you, family. People, you've been sending me Cash App gifts. I thank you so much. For those who are able to, my cash app was $ Mama Kia 13 MAMAKIA 13. Somebody asked me that in the chat. And then for those who wanted to know about Chief Mack, of course, you can send him an email to Unity in Motion, UNITYINMOTION 45 at yahoo.com. But to send him blessing, and this is also where you will be sending your consultation fee to, is $ Allen Judah 47, $ ALLEN JUDAH 47. What about your website, Chief? Should somebody look at your website, or is it not yet ready?
I'll send that to them. If I talk to people, if they're gonna do business, I can send the website to them.
Okay. That dude says, please hit him up, family. Oh, they're hitting you with a commercial every time Chief Mack talks. Wow. Hi, that dude. Thank you for being here, darling. We appreciate it. I'm sorry they're hitting you with commercials. Great American Coin Company is a place you can get currencies as well. Let's see. All right, Chief, do you have any final words that you would like to offer the Soul family?
Well, the Soul family, just continue to be inspired, motivated, high vibration. Continue to keep each other covered and lifted. That energy goes a long way. And if you can, tell people to say this every day. You can remember to say that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just, and we are the just. That the meek shall inherit the earth, and we are the meek. That we're going from last back to first. That we're going to be the lenders and not the borrowers, guys.
Yes.
We're the creditors and not the debtors. And speak these things over yourself and toward each other, guys. Manifest your most amazing life. We are in manifestation season right now, and I dare you to speak it over yourself. And the reason I'm saying that because I've spoken it over myself, and things are happening. He said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. That I will live my life in abundance because I have been mandated, and I'm going to help out those who need it. That the little that you have given me, oh Heavenly Father, that I do the abundance and overflow that you're going to give me. And I thank you in advance. I thank you because you're setting up the foundation for your seed line that had been born. That trust is going to make sure that they're taken care of. So if they mean anything to you, then cut out the bullshit. Get rid of all the hate, the envy, the malice, and jealousy in your heart, because most people who are on the plus side don't have it in their heart. They don't. So if you see yourself like that, get rid of it. Get rid of the hate, the envy, malice, and jealousy, because rich people ain't walk around with that in their heart. Guys, purge it out. Repent. Turn from your wicked ways and get ready for the overflow.
Oh, I love that. Chief, where can people find your work or find you on social media?
I'm on social media. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram as much. I'm going to start back doing lives because I have a deep revelation, about things, how this world really works, and I know that the ancestors of the Most High, the Great Spirit, is when you demand and guide and protect it. I truly see how this world is really being ran, and it's ran in a way that many can't handle. You couldn't handle what type of world you're in and who's in control of it. But I'll say this much: when the so-called angels, the 1/3 of the angels, and the adversary they call Lucifer got kicked out of so-called heaven, they didn't get sent to hell. They got sent down to earth, and we're down here with them. So find out what that is, what that means.
Yes, we are.
So if you have hate, envy, malice, and jealousy in your heart, then that's what gives them jurisdiction over you. Get rid of it so that you won't be reincarnated back into this mess and be the savior and salvation of your bloodline.
I just pulled up your TikTok. Thank you, Chief. Your TikTok show, your TikTok, what do you call it? Name is at Big Chief 4130. They can follow you there. What else should they follow you on Facebook? I pulled that up. I don't know. Should they follow you there or just
No, I mean,
on TikTok?
my name is out there, so they can follow me there too.
They can follow you on TikTok as Chief Mack or
Facebook, either or, Facebook or Chief Mack.
okay. So
Alan Jordan 47 on Facebook.
Here's his Facebook page right here. Judah Allen, right here. He's always dressed in sharp when he goes out. And then there was one more. Oh, I wanted to know if we can end by showing that video of where they're eating out of your hand, the birds.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. A little bird. I feel so special and honored.
Yeah. So there was a bird. Chief Mack was out and about, and a bird walked up to him and sat there. And I guess he was communicating with him, and Chief offered him some food. Let's see, Unity in Motion 45 at yahoo.com is where you can meet. You can contact Chief Mack. Family. Another Facebook, what you saying? Facebook ad? Oh, yes, I sent you to Facebook. It is, Omni Power says she's adding you to Facebook. It's Allen Judah. Is it Judah Allen? Judah Allen. Okay.
Yeah, Judah.
All right.
Judah Allen, ALLENJUDAH 47. No, that's just Judah Allen. Facebook.
It's just Judah Allen on Facebook, right?
See me with the suit on.
What do you say?
I said there are other guys named Judah Allen. Judah Allen, but you see me with the suit on. You see my picture.
This is him right here. Yes, this is him right. 26,000 followers, and it grows by the day. Like just recently, he's always had a large following, but it really started growing once they took the censorship off of him. So you want to follow him there?
I gained about 12,000 followers in about 2.5-3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, but
wow. So thank you for following us, family, and being here. You there, Chief? We talked about what's going on with the Iraqi dinar and how people have been receiving texts and email from currency dealers saying that they heard from the Trump administration. Currency dealers have heard from the Trump administration that a revaluation they're on red alert, I should say, for a revaluation. Currency dealers have also said that they're trying to hurry up and send out the currencies by Friday. And in the event that they have a currency revaluation, if it's not out by Friday, they're going to hold on to those currencies, wait for the new rate, and then you'll be able to pick up your currency. So in other words, a lot of people have been contacted by their currency dealer saying, we are very close. They're on red alert. We covered that. We talked about how French's ambassador for Iraq went to meet with Iraq to solidify deals. We also talked about how Elon Musk told a certain federal agency that all the money that they were spending, was illegal and unlawful, and any money that they have left has to go back to the American people. And we covered a plethora of things. So make sure you listen to the replay, family. This has been a great podcast. Thanks to you all for being here, listening, and thanks to Chief Mack for participating and helping us and sending us a lot of information. You're welcome. Adrian said, thank you for the recap. You're welcome. So much information we covered, sister, that I hope you are able to get. All right, Chief, are you ready for me to show this video? No, I'm going to show you this. Okay. Here you go. This is Chief Mack's, what is it? I'm going to show you. First of all, this is his YouTube channel. It's Chief Mack. His handle is at Chief Mack 9574. Chief Mack or Chief Mack 9574. If he goes live on this YouTube channel, his channel is going to blow up because he goes live on Facebook and there are always hundreds and thousands of people watching. But Facebook for the longest was actually suppressing his numbers. So I'm gonna stop sharing his page, and then I'm gonna bring it up. Him feeding the bird. Where is that? See if I can put the caption on. Yep. Okay, here we go. Let me know if you can hear it in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear, family. A 2 if you cannot, a 1 if you can hear this.
In little village where the rivers gently flow, lives a man known as Chief Mack, with a heart of pure gold, with a smile that lights the morning, and our eyes so kind and bright. He's a gentle soul of a man, spreading love with all his might. Chief Mack, oh Chief Mack, with the birds eating from your hands, a gentle soul of a man. In your presence, peace will stand. He leads and guides the people, showing them the way, exposing them to new truths each and every.
Sorry, fam.
Chief Mack, a gentle soul, with birds eating from his hand. Chief Mack, oh Chief Mack, with the birds eating from your hand, a gentle soul of a man. In your presence, peace will stand. Ho, 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 Chief Mack, oh Chief Mack, with the birds eating from your hands, a gentle soul of a man. In your presence, peace will stand. Chief Mack, oh Chief Mack, with the birds eating from your hands, a gentle soul of a man. In your presence, peace will stand.
That was so beautiful.
Hell yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Wow. They say that animals can sense our energy, Chief. So we're so grateful that you have that type of energy, that they want to come up to you
Yes.
and be nourished by you. You're saying that's music. I can understand every word. Thank you, Green Eyes. They say you have an awesome purpose. That was a nice song. It was beautiful. All right. Sounds good, Chief. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank
I
you, guys.
appreciate the Soul family. Chief Mack, when we come back, maybe whenever you get time, we can talk about med beds. Somebody wants to know if we have any news on med beds. I have to do a little research on that one. Chief Mack and I will do some research, and we will come back when we can to share with you, family. I don't have any updated news today, but I will do some research and ask some people.
Dr. Kidd, this is for entertainment purpose, educational and entertainment purposes only.
Yes, sir.
I'm a personal trainer. I'm a health coach. I deal with holistics. I'll be 54 years old. I'm still growing a head full of hair. My skin looks great. 20 to 40 pounds solid. And I'm grateful to the ancestors of the Most High. I'm grateful because I have kingdom work to do. I have 7 brothers, and I'm the only one still growing hair. I'm growing hair for all of us, But I have a ritual to go by, and that I do daily in terms of holistically. That
Okay.
in my body, doing certain things like this. So if anybody is having some issues and things going on, there's some things that you can do a consultation. I can tell you about some things that you can do and
Mm-hmm.
things about you to change up so that you can have better quality of life, guys. So yeah. And you see where I am right now, guys. You see where I am right now.
Where you at, Chief? Oh, LA Fitness.
Get your workout on because it's how you release endorphins that'll trick the body.
Mm-hmm. And those of you looking for a mate, you know, if you are in the best optimum health, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, then you will be able to attract a person that's mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy. But you have to be that in order to send out that energy that will draw that person to you. Chief told me, I met Chief in person. He was like, yeah, you look good. And I get in the gym. And I'm gonna make sure it happens. So he wasn't just he said, I'm gonna put something behind that. You need to get in the gym, you look great, tone it up. I was like, yes, sir, Chief. He's a personal trainer. That's what he did professionally, and he actually competed. He has many different, what do you call it?
Boys, I won trophies, and I won Mr. Atlanta, the USC boy. I won a lot of different things I was accomplishing. So it was nice. I got to keep it tight and right. So I'm at the gym right now. I'm not giving up.
Yes, absolutely. They're saying thank you, Chief and Dr. Kia. I was enlightened by this message. Thank you, Sister Teresa, for joining us. All right, family. Let's see. Somebody said I'm the only one. Oh, Nadine said she's the only one in her family that knows. All right, family. Chief's got to go into the gym, and I need to get something to drink. I want to make some tea. I appreciate all of you that have been here, spending time with us. Make sure you watch the replay. If you miss something, you can go do it double speed. You know, if it's you want to speed past some things, you can put on the closed caption. We appreciate your time, your energy. I appreciate all the Cash App blessings that you have sent to Dr. Kia Pruitt here at $ Mama Kia 13. Also, we appreciate the Cash App that you sent Chief Mack to Alan Judah 47. And you can reach out to him by emailing him. Is it Alan Judah? It's Alan Judah 47, right? Yes, Alan Judah 47. Okay. Right. That's the Cash App. If you want to send some people want to send him a gift because you appreciate the information. Nadine's sipping her turmeric tea. Or you can contact him at unityinmotion45@yahoo.com. And he's going to come back soon to talk about his health regimen, some products that he uses every day that he would recommend to the Soul family to keep you healthy. I think it purges impurities in your body or something like that. But he'll come and share that.
Right. Himself. At a different day. Yeah.
All right. All right, family. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Go out and make this a great evening. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. That's it, family. This has been Chief Mack. I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope we've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Anything, Chief?
Yeah, I'll let you just live your most amazing life, guys. I'm proud of you guys. I'm so happy. Get out there and work out. Release some endorphins, and let's get it together. Let's get it together.
Let's get it together, family. Good night, family. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.